I don't even know Another stay-home show before a major pay-per-view, man. But we got the Owen. We got the Owen. Oh, my God, man. The Owen Hart Cup is back. Full brackets announced. No Jay White. No MJF. And they got yet another wild card. Which I don't know why we're leaving a wild card spot open for the biggest opportunity in the entire company. We got the ladies' side as well. Jesse and I will break both brackets down tonight. We got matches. We got more matches, and we got more matches that seemingly did nothing to get you excited about the pay-per-view on Sunday, if you guys even remember there's a pay-per-view on Sunday. It's going to be a good night, folks. It's going to be a good night. First AEW Dynamite stream of the month of April. So what that means is we need to drink them cold tonight. I'm going to the venue. Jesse's already there. I don't know what he's doing, but hopefully he has 2 old fashions waiting for us. And when I walk through those doors on a Wednesday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you guys over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite Post Show for April 2nd, 2025. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining us on your Wednesday evenings, wherever you may be, joined by the one and only Mr. Collision Corner himself, the Chi-Town Smark, Jesse. What's going on, man?
Bro, what's good with you, man?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with me. What happened? What's going on?
I'm declaring myself for the Owen tournament, bro.
Oh man, are you the wild card, man? Oh my goodness. You're gonna be the wild card this year, man. Listen, man, I'd rather you than Jeff Jarrett. That's all I'll say.
Well, why? Well, you had to bring it up. You had to bring him up. You had to bring him up. Y'all heard it first, right here, chat. If Jarrett pops up, we know who dug him up, man. Right here,
bro. Are you telling me you watching this show and looking at the bracket? We got them pulled up here, man. I got them all ready to go. Look at that wild card there, folks. Who do you think that is, man? Oh my goodness.
I know, right? Oh my God,
that wild card, man. I'm telling you. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about the Owen. How you doing, man? You doing good?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Everything is peachy, bro.
How you feel about this show tonight, man? This stay home show for AEW Dynasty.
Well, I guess that's our job to talk about that, right?
I mean, let's look at the up and up, man. Brody King got a win, man. Oh my God, man, he got a win tonight.
Brody King did get a win. So I know how we always start this show off. You'll say, hey, what was your biggest takeaway from the night?
Yeah.
And I went into this show like, all right, this time I'm going to have my takeaway. And then by the end of the show, I completely forgot about that. And then right now I'm like, what was my takeaway? Wait, what the fuck? What was my takeaway? Brody King won? Okay, yeah. And then you bust that bubble on me right there mid text message. So right away, I was legit. I was sincerely excited to see Brody King win. I text this fucking guy. I said, "Hey, look, Brody King won." Right away, he responds back, "Yeah, just so he can lose to Takeshita."
Am I wrong, man? Tell me what I'm telling some lies here, man. Tell me.
My God damn it. He is going to lose to Takeshita. God damn it, man.
Listen, man, I had a nice discussion with the Solo Monster last night, and we talked about the Owen and what could potentially be happening at Dynasty. We went over our predictions on Tuesday Night Titans. If you guys missed that, cheap plug, go check it out. Really, really great show last night, as always. And I came out of that discussion a little bit more positive after going back and forth and bouncing some ideas off of him. I came into tonight with a fresh set of eyes and a fresh mindset. I'm like, you know what? The Owen is happening now. A lot of people didn't understand it. I praised Tony last night on the show. I said, I actually like that he's doing the Owen now. And I like that he's promoting the Owen now. And I like that he had Ospreay and Hangman and MJF, who we'll get into, Jay White, all announce themselves for the Owen. And I'm like, all right. So he's taken the criticisms and the criticisms of past tournaments where tournaments have been uber predictable, and he just puts matches together and you know the outcome already and you can see and picture the final already before we even get there, weeks in advance. And he's making a legitimate tournament for the biggest prize in the company. And it's with all the top guys. I'm like, all right, maybe he listened. Maybe he finally listened to that criticism and he's booking this thing like it should. I take this idea that we discussed on Tuesday Night Titans last night into this show, and I was going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And at the end of the night, Jesse, I just, again, walk away disappointed. I don't know what the mindset is in the company. I don't really understand why they do the things that they do and make some of the decisions that they make. You know, my biggest takeaway before I give you the floor to talk about what you want to talk about here is the Owen brackets, man. You know, AEW, one of their Achilles heels is the fact that everything they do is just super fucking predictable. You go into a match, you know who's winning. You go into a tournament, you know who's winning. You go into a tournament, you know what the final's going to look like before we even get the tournament started. That's their biggest problem. They don't know how to book with a sense of unpredictability that makes you intrigued to watch what they're doing, man. It's like, all right, I got this. I see who's in it. I know who's going to win it. No reason for me to watch it. It's just going to be another great pro wrestling exhibition, and that's all it's going to be, man. We know that they can do that. We need a little bit more than that. And me personally, sure, the brackets are okay. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just the same shit over and over again, man. Uber predictable, and I just wish it was a little bit more star power heavy. Some of the top guys there, I wish they were there a little bit more than who we got. So that's just my opinion. I'm a little bit disappointed with the way the brackets ended up.
I didn't look at them in great detail. I mean, but just by the names alone that I know that are in
I got them pulled up for us here. You could watch them on stream. Yeah.
Okay, I don't have them. Let me see.
Yeah, I'll pull them up right now. Well, let's give me your take for the show. What you say, and then I'll pull them up.
All right. So, man, I honestly don't know. I guess we'll roll with Swerve.
Yeah.
And the OMG moment that Hangman had. It seems like he caught maybe a red eye. Maybe he drove. I don't know. But however he got to Peoria, scorching hot, pissed off. Got there, kicked in the door, waited till the end of the show. I don't know what he was doing for the beginning part of the show. But at the end of the show, he finally found Swerve, came storming through a bunch of Renner security guys, telling him he wanted to kick his ass and everything else because of what he did, and threw it in Swerve's face to say, you burned down my house, and Swerve said, I know. And then Hangman said, oh. And then stormed off and left, presumably in the same vehicle that he got there in Peoria. That was kind of weird. And then when Swerve was out there at the end getting beat down by Death Riders, I thought Hangman was going to come out. He did not. What was I looking at the end of the show here?
You looked at another example of AEW trying to generate interest in what is a dead story and a dead match by slamming yet another professional wrestler on broken shards of glass after what they did 2 weeks ago with railroad spikes into the back of Moxley's flesh. I'm not really intrigued by what's going on here as long as Swerve wins the championship, which is after Pro Wrestling 101 can tell us after tonight. Swerve got his ass handed to him on the go-home show. That means he should get, theoretically, the victory on Sunday night and win the world championship. But I'm not really that sure if that's going to end up being the case.
When I saw that spot, you were the first thing in my head. I was like, uh-oh, JD's probably going to start cowering in a corner. He's seeing violence again. He doesn't like that.
Bro,
there was no blood, though.
This fucking guy. I never had a problem.
You really don't like
I never had the problem with the violence. What are you talking about? They do violence for the sake of violence, just to do a reaction. That's it.
I didn't even mention glass. I just mentioned the segment. You went straight to the glass.
Because it was stupid.
I thought the whole segment was stupid.
Yes, there was no blood, surprisingly. They'll save that for the pay-per-view when they come up with something equally as heinous. You know what's going to happen. I don't know, man. Listen, the Page Swerve crossing paths tonight at the end of the show, that was the best part of the show for me. Because I've been saying Swerve needs to
confusing.
It is confusing. Swerve needs to win the championship, and that realistically should be your final for the not the final of the tournament, but that's the end goal for All In. That's your championship match for All In. And I don't know if that's the plan or not, but I hope that's the case. The thing is, and the geniuses over there in the AEW creative department, what happened to MJF and Adam Page? Did we just drop it out of nowhere? Is that over and done with? There hasn't been anything said about Page and MJF has not been announced for the tournament, but he's been making these comments about wanting Triple B back. But you can't be bothered to announce him for the fucking tournament. Now, I will play devil's advocate here and say there is a wild card and MJF could be the wild card, but to dumb down that stupid idea, it's MJF. Why would you have him as a surprise in the tournament when he's one of your more recognizable faces and should be at the center of this fucking tournament? Why would you put him in there as a wild card? So I don't even think MJF is going to be the wild card. Where is he in this tournament? And why is he not in there for the biggest show that they do all year, for the biggest prize that they have in the company? I don't understand that. Where's the feud with Page? Why did they drop it all of a sudden to have him mingle with the fucking Hurt Syndicate who don't want him in the group? What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't understand that dynamic either. The way they've already started it. I mean, if I don't know. I don't fucking. I mean, if it goes through and it ends up in the group, there was already tension. All right. I mean, but I'm saying I don't know because I want to see what their plan is, like as far as what they plan on doing with this union and all this other shit. But already it just looks like it makes no sense. If they wanted to have tension, why not have them start in the group? Everybody's fine, hunky dory, and then right away start showing cracks and things like that. But again, that's just the way I would have told the story, and they're still telling theirs. So in the same vein as you, I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt before I shit on it, because they haven't even gotten it started yet. They just introduced the concept. So I don't know where they're going with this, but already it makes no sense as far as there's already why would MJF want to fight so hard to get himself into a faction that does not want him?
And why is he not doing everything possible to get into the fucking Owen Hart Memorial Cup for the World Championship?
That would be his way to the title.
Who writes this shit? I mean, are we just blatantly leaving Max out because fuck Max? Well, I don't understand how you, for a second year in a row, you don't have this guy in the fucking tournament. That's the whole story going into All In. He wants Triple B back, yet he's mingling with fucking Bobby Lashley, who I can't even begin to fathom what a match with those two guys would even look like. What happened to the Page feud? You had a slam dunk coming out of Revolution. MJF gets the win. You build a story going into the Owen. You make that a part of the Owen tournament, and then you build from there, getting them to All In. I don't know what these people are thinking, man. It is so frustrating watching this fucking show. I mean, we got Mark. Let's pull it up, being that we're talking about it. I got the whole fucking tournament here. We'll look at the men's first. We got it pulled up here. What you guys see on screen right now, if you're watching on YouTube and live on X, the Owen Hart Memorial Cup for 2025 looks like this. Left side of the bracket. Will Ospreay versus Kevin Knight, who is 7 days into his AEW run, and he's already in a tournament for the biggest prize in the company. I have a lot to say about that. I fail to even think that AEW couldn't find a better professional wrestler for this spot than Kevin Knight. I don't understand why Kevin Knight is even in this fucking tournament when he just got into the company. Now, this was supposed to be Jay White's spot, Jesse. Apparently, Jay White is injured. I didn't hear Excalibur say anything at the top of the show. I'll get to that in a second. But Excalibur apparently made mention that Jay White was injured. AEW mentioned, says Sap on Fightful Select, mentioned on Dynamite that Switchblade Jay White was injured due to an attack from the Death Riders and out of the Owen Hart Foundation Memorial Tournament. Fightful Select learned that White has sustained a legitimate injury ahead of Dynamite, but that a storyline reason was created to explain it, if you even want to call it that. Fightful has confirmed the injury, and that Jay White is expected to undergo surgery. We've not confirmed what the injury specifically is. The injury has caused some significant creative changes as a result of his removal from the tournament. Now, this was supposed to be Jay White. Now, I think if Jay White versus Will Ospreay was the opening match for this tournament at the pay-per-view, I think everybody kind of knows that Will Ospreay was probably going to go on to win that match. But the thing is, Jesse, and I'll bring you back here live with me so people could see us. We'll go back to the brackets in a second. You know, the whole Jay White thing, this is what frustrates me, and this is what frustrates fans about this product and why people have tuned out of the product. You know, Jay White, and Jesse's going to mention it in Collision Corner because he watched it, I did not. I watched highlights of Kevin Knight. I know how good Kevin Knight is. I didn't really see anything with Jay White being injured. Now, did he get injured during the match? Possibly. But he didn't wrestle like he was injured coming out of Collision. I mean, it was just last week or the week before that where he announced himself for the Owen. So I knew that he was in the tournament, but everybody's left asking, where is he? But they come up with a storyline here, Jesse, quote-unquote storyline reason why he's out, and they say the Death Riders took him out. I don't understand why you would go and do that and then show us nothing of the footage or no footage at all about him being taken out by the Death Riders, and you as a company, you as a creative team, want me, the fan and the analyst, to sit there and say, hey, man, that's a great reason why Jay White's not in the tournament. You just said he was taken out by a group of thugs, and you did nothing to film anything regarding that, resembling that, and you want me to sit here and say, oh, man, that's a good enough reason. You couldn't film something to see this guy beaten up? You couldn't film something so that we have visual fucking evidence that this guy is out? Because everybody that watched Collision saw this guy wrestle a decent match against Kevin Knight, and now people are starting to ask questions. And if you go to his Twitter handle and his Twitter page, there's no mention of AEW in his Twitter profile. So what exactly is going on? Is he injured? Possibly. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not because I don't fucking know. Jesse doesn't know. But something about this really doesn't rub me the right way, man. AEW went about this terrible, and Excalibur saying he's injured, that's a lame duck reason. We're going to need more than removing Jay White from the tournament after he already announced himself for the tournament last week.
Bro, I don't understand it. I don't get it. I watched the match. He looked like he worked fine. If they were going to do a storyline with him getting beat up by the Death Riders, again, like you said, why was nothing filmed? Nothing. Bro, I mean, I don't care if he couldn't get to the venue. You could have had him film something from his phone at a hospital or something, talking about how they jumped him and he didn't appreciate it. At this stage from what they gave us, anything would have been better than just commentary just telling us this. Because, yeah, now it does raise red flags. Was there any mention of AEW in his bio before this? I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't pay close enough attention to that.
Me either. I don't go around and read everyone's bios. You know what I'm saying? You know, who knows that shit? But, yeah, you just can't come out and just say, oh, he's hurt, Death Riders. Moving on. Is there a reason why the Death Riders would have attacked Jay White?
There is no reason. There's no reason. He took care of Cope. Why are they attacking Jay White after they took care of Cope? And their mission now is Swerve and beating Swerve. None of it makes any sense.
It makes no sense. I mean, why would anything, bro? They could have shown text messages, bro. Something that dumb would have been better than what they gave us. It does leave a lot of holes. It makes no sense. Even looking at the brackets, like you said. We'll be getting Jay White versus Will Ospreay in the first round. Granted, that would put a foot in that it's too predictable shit. You know what I'm saying? Fine, great. But that is a little bit early for that matchup, you know. But at the same time, I don't want to knock them because we just complained about how it was too predictable. And that was definitely very unpredictable, at least in the sense of, yeah, we know Will Ospreay is going to win, but could be. Maybe, possibly, who knows? Now we know Kevin fucking Knight's not gonna beat Will Ospreay, right?
That's
predictable.
Kevin Knight is not beating Will Ospreay. Listen, either one of those matches would have been predictable, but at least it would have fit the narrative that all the big guns in this company are vying for the fucking opportunity to wrestle for the AEW championship at All In. Kevin Knight does not belong in this tournament. See,
no, he does not.
What you watch anywhere else in the IWC, anybody else that has a show live right now, they're not gonna spit the shit that Jesse and I say because we're a little too fucking real, okay? And I want you to clip this, and I want everybody to fucking have a blast with this. This Kevin Knight situation in this tournament reeks of the news article that came out where Kevin Knight had chosen AEW over WWE despite WWE interest. He felt like he would have been better in AEW, and WWE, you know, they were left hanging, and he chose one over the other. This, to me, reeks after Tony Khan has his nose in literally everything in the community, after he saw that Kevin Knight had interest from WWE, and they wanted him over there, and he chose AEW. This is the only thing I could possibly think of in regards to this situation. Tony Khan put Kevin Knight in this tournament because of that specific reason. Because WWE was interested. They wanted him. He chose Tony. He chose AEW. So now Tony is going to be hell-bent on trying to get this kid over and hell-bent on shoving it in their face because there was interest there, and Tony's going to make an example. Oh, you wanted him? Now I'm going to make him into a star. You wanted him? I'm going to give him the big rocket pack, and I'm going to shoot him up to the top. This does not mean Tony wants to book Kevin Knight and push Kevin Knight because he loves Kevin Knight's work. There's nothing more than a fucking narrative behind Kevin Knight being in this tournament, and that's all it is. Kevin Knight does not belong in this tournament. Kevin Knight doesn't stand a fucking chance against Will Ospreay, and all I see with Kevin Knight in this tournament is a fucking narrative to shove it in WWE's face. And if you book your show that way, you are already fucking behind everything that really matters, man. That's fucked up. And I hate that I have to come on here and say that because nobody else is going to fucking pinpoint that and call that out. This shit sucks. This is not a pay-per-view match. He doesn't belong here. On what fucking planet do you bring Kevin Knight, who nobody fucking knows, and you put him in a tournament 7 days after he signs the dotted line for an AEW contract in a tournament for the biggest show of the year to fight for the biggest title that they have in the main event? Does that make sense to you?
No. And so to I don't know, any new viewers who might be popping in, I don't just randomly and just co-sign on any and all AEW hate. I'm gonna give them a fucking fair shot, but everything he's just said is 100% fucking true. This reeks of fucking desperation, man. This reeks of absolute desperation. There is no reason to. And before I say this, Kevin Knight, and I see all the people in the chat, who's Kevin Knight? Who's this jobber? Who's this guy's gonna be a jobber? Kevin Knight, and clip this, is fucking amazing.
Kevin Knight's great.
And what does? He's fucking great, man. I watched this guy live in TNA. He is an absolute special fucking talent in the ring. And I think with the right kind of push and the right kind of good storytelling, I do think he has a chance to do something really good in this company down the fucking road. That does not mean you get a hold of him, someone who you found out that that WWE had interest in, and you push him like he's the fucking the next coming of fucking John Cena. I mean, it is not that fucking serious. You're putting too much on this guy too early on. You're putting him, you're shoving him to the fans way too much, way too fast. Outside of people like me and anybody else who really pays attention to the deep diving into pro wrestling, no one knows who this guy is. Absolutely no one. So you're pushing this guy this hard to people who have no interest in him. None. We will find out how great of a wrestler he is in due time when you book him in meaningful stories. The guy just got here. Give him an enhancement match. Give him a nice little match against a contracted employee. Do something nice with him at a pay-per-view or a buy-in or pre-show, something like that. Give it a few months. Stick him in the Hurt Syndicate. Boom, that would have been nice right then and there. You know what I'm saying? But you've already started down this path of this guy is so amazing. We had Jay White at the end of the Jay White match on Collision. Jay White sat there and cut a promo like this guy was going to be the future of the goddamn business. Now, is he that great? No, probably not that great. I mean, but you got to see how well Jay White put him over. But give him a chance. Give him a chance organically for the fans to find out if they like him or not. You are immediately trying to tell us that you have to like him. He's great. Jay White said so. Look, he's in the Owen already. Look, he can do this. Bro, too much too fast. No one's going to give a shit. People are going to push back because you're pushing so fast. Let the guy do his thing.
I agree. Everything you said. I saw the speech that Jay White gave him. I mean, like you said, it's like he's the second coming of fucking MJF over here. It's like, remember when MJF and Kenny Omega wrestled on Collision and Kenny Omega put over MJF? That was a passing of the torch moment in AEW. This, Jay White to Kevin, I mean, how does nobody see that it's just so disingenuous and so just forced? I can't believe people are not seeing this and picking this up. It's so fucking, it's so blatant that it legitimately angers me. And this is another reason, I'm not afraid to call this shit out, another reason why people are not watching this fucking show. And I don't blame them. Kevin Knight should not be in this tournament at all. That is just ridiculous. Now, I'll pull the men's bracket back up here. Will Ospreay and Kevin Knight. Gee, I wonder who's going to win that one. Will Ospreay's in the semifinals. Brody King versus Konosuke Takeshita. You know, I texted jokingly with Jesse back and forth tonight. Brody King got a win. We started the show off tonight. Brody King got a win. He's wrestling Konosuke Takeshita. Tonight, Jesse wrestled Lance Archer. Lance Archer versus Brody King got what, 10 minutes? I don't know why. It was only done so that people can forget that Brody King right now is a loser on this roster. He's a fucking loser, and I hate saying that because he's so fucking great. But they gave him a win tonight just so that he could realistically lose to Konosuke Takeshita. So, you know, Takeshita's going to be wrestling Ospreay, and that'll be a rematch from Ospreay's first revolution with the company. That was last year, and that will be the semifinals of the tournament. I'll bring it back to live here with us. You know, Brody wrestled Lance Archer tonight, and I said, you know, I think we mentioned it last week as well, Jesse. Brody said that he didn't need anybody's house to lead him, right? And it was him and Buddy. Buddy, unfortunately, got hurt in Australia due to the fucking 16-foot ring. And Brody's been on his own. No Julia, no nothing. He comes out doing his thing. Yep. And he said he didn't need anybody's house to lead him, yet ever since he said that, he's done nothing but lose. He won tonight, and now he's going to go into the Owen here, the first round, and lose to Takeshita. You know, if there's anybody that's hurting Brody King, it's Tony Khan and AEW Creative, because I think they're doing more harm than good, and I don't know how the fucking geniuses over there don't see it. Jesse, what happens when you see someone like Brody and the size of Brody and the athleticism of Brody win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one? That's what I call indifference. People are going to catch on very quickly and then not give a shit about Brody King, and you're doing more harm than good than putting him in these fucking matches to lose like Fletcher last week, and then he wins this week only to lose to Takeshita whenever the tournament kicks off. How is that doing him any good, and how are you building his star power by this 50-50 booking bullshit? I mean, how does nobody see that? Yet the fans want nothing but Brody, and they want to see this guy win. Yet you put him out there to fucking do 50-50 booking, man. This is what we complained about, Vince. We're going to complain about it now, and people are going to label us fucking haters. But I've been doing this shit for far too long and calling this shit out way too much. If you have a problem with what we say about 50-50 booking in regards to Brody, you are fucking mental, man. This shit sucks and is doing more harm to Brody than anything, Jesse.
It's 50-50 booking is being generous. He's lost more than he's fucking won. Ever since the House of Black disbanded, there's been no interest in Brody King. 50-50 to me, 50-50, you're just a loser. No one's gonna remember the wins. They're just gonna remember how much you keep losing.
Yes.
And it's not just about the losing. You're losing matches to guys with no story behind it at all. You come out, nice entrance music, big badass Brody fucking King, crowd barking with him, fucking mask on. This guy fucking tatted up. You ever seen this guy do a concert? This guy's a fucking maniac on the stage. This guy's great. Comes out there and loses. Okay, maybe he'll win next week. He loses 2 straight. Okay, this guy sucks. No, he doesn't suck because he won a night. He beat Lance Archer. No, he just lost 2 straight. And then now it looks like he's going to fucking lose in the tournament. So he's just a loser. He's not even 50-50. He's just a flat-out loser. And I've said this before. This guy should be at the top of the card. This guy should be one of the next challengers for the world fucking title when he gets done with his crew. I don't know why they broke up him and Julia just because Buddy is hurt. It sucks that Buddy is hurt. But you still have him and Julia. Why is Julia not coming out as his fucking valet, looking menacing, looking like the fucking dark witch and everything else? All of that adds to the aura. This guy came out with a crew. Now he's coming out by himself getting beat. And then later on, you're going to want me to care about him when you decide to push him in. And guess what? It's too late. We don't give a shit anymore.
I don't understand it. You know, the lazy and what's a good word? Uninspiring is a good word. The uninspiring creative that AEW has in regards to their larger athletes, Brody, Wardlow.
Oh, it's bad.
Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Hobbs.
I worry about Bobby Lashley.
What are we doing, man? But like someone like Brody King could really be a star for this company because he is not of the same mold that this indie-rific garbage comes from. You know, he comes from the old school Ring of Honor. I mean, this guy sings for a fucking deathcore band. You go to fucking one of his concerts, they'll slice you and dice you right there in the fucking mosh pit.
It's fucking lit.
I mean, what are we doing, man? Brody is a fucking money maker if they put any sort of effort behind him, and you do nothing but put this guy behind losses and 50-50 booking.
Bro, I don't like I like some rock. I don't like death metal. I don't like speed metal. I'm not a fan of it at all. If you ever seen Brody King on stage with his band performing, bro, I just want to be out there. I just want to fucking that fucking energy, man. I want to be a part of that shit. It is fucking great. His presence on stage is fucking fantastic, man. And then you get him in the ring and the crowd is behind him. Heel or face, they don't care. They want to fucking bark with fucking Brody King. Same way they bark for fucking Braun Breaker. They want to bark for Brody King. This guy's great. For all intents and purposes, Brody King should be literally the equivalent to Braun Breaker on AEW.
Bro, not even right that. Now. He should be the equivalent to someone like Jacob Fatu. Look at what WWE's doing with Jacob Fatu, and then compare the fucking two. You think Jacob Fatu would look as menacing as he does if he went out there and lost half of the fucking matches that they put him in? Man. You should be ashamed of yourself. It's fucking ridiculous.
Someone brought up to me on Twitter after last week's show, Brody King is a punker. Brody King said something nice about Punk.
There you go. I mean, you need any more reason as to why the guy's fucking dying 1,000 deaths on this show? That's the reason. Can you imagine WWE booking Jacob Fatu and 50-50 booking garbage? Can you imagine them doing that? If anything, there's the blueprint for how you book this guy. Brody's just as athletic as fucking Jacob Fatu. Brody could do everything that Jacob Fatu does. But here we are on AEW where you got a bunch of fucking uninspired, uncreative hacks who don't know how to fucking book a pro wrestling show and don't know how to book themselves out of a wet paper bag. We got them with Brody King, and Jacob Fatu's over in WWE lighting the world on fire, probably going to win the United States Championship at some point, has a major WrestleMania match ahead of him in a couple weeks, yet Brody can't win a fucking match on AEW television.
Should be killing it.
Absolutely killing it.
Him and Julia should be doing promos, pre-recorded promo segments, talking about how the dogs are still strong, talking about they can't wait for Brody to come back better than ever. They're gonna continue what they do. I even suggested, I know it sounds fucking crazy, you know, because of his current appearance, but I even suggested going out and recruiting Julia Hart's former friend in Griff Garrison and starting a transformation the same way that Julia Hart was a fucking cheerleader with Griff Garrison, starting a transformation and start recruiting a Griff Garrison to join the Hellhounds. You know what I'm saying? It's something to do. Griff Garrison is a young fucking kid. He can use the fucking the little bump and everything. It's something fresh. It's something fucking different. And Griff's pretty good, man. And all we get is this. We get Julia Hart losing. We get Brody King losing. They suck. They both suck now.
Julia Hart, we'll get to Julia. She's in the Owen. She's going to lose. She's going to lose, but she's in the Owen. Yeah, if Jacob Fatu is in AEW, he'd be wrestling hologram, teaming with the Luchadors. Absolutely. Absolutely. His first match would have been against Orange Cassidy. Clueless. His entire fucking company's fucking clueless, man. They don't know. They don't know talent if it smacked him in the fucking face. Give me a break.
It was a good comparison, man. Jacob Fatu is very equivalent to a Brody King.
Yeah.
Very fucking equivalent. I just don't get it.
I don't know.
But we got Blake Christians out there fucking just getting all the fucking sunshine right about now, though.
That's just very weird. He got more TV appearances in the last 2 weeks than Wardlow has in the last 2 years. Imagine that. Unfucking believable. Back to the Owen. We got Kevin Knight and Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay's going on to the semis. Brody versus Takeshita. Takeshita is a fucking great pro wrestler. You know, he could be somebody that holds the world championship at some point, and I hope that does happen for him.
He will.
I hope so. He's going to go on to the semis. Him and Ospreay rematch from Revolution last year, and that will be the semis on the left side of the bracket. On the right side, Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher. Let's bring us back to live here. Listen, I love Mark Briscoe. I adore Mark Briscoe. I don't know why Mark Briscoe is a regular in these tournaments when all he does is fucking lose. What has he done to put his name in the hat for the AEW World title at All In? What? When was the last time he won a match? Can someone tell me? Like a meaningful match. I don't even think that exists. Why is he in this tournament? And why are we looking at another predictable match in the tournament that will see Kyle Fletcher go on and advance to the semifinals? Why?
To go against Hangman, who's going to beat whatever wild card they put out there.
I don't know. I mean, what has someone please tell me, what has Mark Briscoe done to be in this tournament? Absolutely nothing. But you know what? He's going to deliver a great pro wrestling match. And the last time that they wrestled, I don't know how long ago. What was it? A week ago, 2 weeks ago? Great fucking match. It meant nothing. Yeah. But now they're doing it again because I'm sure Tony heard all the criticisms. Oh, it meant nothing. It was just a match for the sake of having a match. And now they're doing it again to build some sort of fucking story between them in the tournament where we all know Kyle Fletcher is going to get his another victory over Mark Briscoe. But yes, the wild card will be going up against Adam Page. Now, last year, if you guys are not aware, Jeff Jarrett was in the tournament, and Adam Page was the wild card in the tournament last year. And he went to the finals to wrestle Bryan Danielson, which ultimately gave us Bryan Danielson winning the Owen and going on to winning the World Championship at All In against Swerve Strickland, which was a fucking great moment and an unbelievable match. But now, Jesse, we're looking at Hangman, who's not the wild card this year, going up against the wild card. So the roles have been reversed this year in 2025. Who are we looking at here for the wild card? I mean, I got a couple of guesses, and jokingly, but kind of not at the same time, obviously the first name that jumps off the page is Jeff Jarrett because of his friendship with Owen and the fact that they just dropped his storyline out of nowhere where he wanted to chase the World Championship. I could absolutely see him being the wild card in this case to try and go up against the Cowboy again and ultimately lose. But again, it's the same problem that we're running into with all these matches. Why are you going to give me a match with Jeff Jarrett and Hangman where we all know the winner before it even starts? I don't want to see that. We all know Hangman's going to win no matter who he's in the ring against because he's going to be in the finals. But the other choices that I have here, Hangman against Jarrett, I could see Josh Alexander coming out there and having a great match, losing in his first match, yes, but
right,
you know,
that might not work.
Josh Alexander, that's a possibility. Or like people were saying, maybe it's MJF. I don't know why you wouldn't announce MJF and plaster him all over this fucking tournament, why you would keep him some sort of secret in the tournament when he's made statements for the last, 6 months. I want my Triple B back. Why isn't he in the fucking tournament? Why isn't he on the opposite side of the tournament? I don't get it. MJF versus Ospreay, MJF versus Page 2, MJF versus Takeshita, MJF versus literally anybody. Where is he? How is he on the show and not causing a problem? Where's my Owen inclusion? Now I want to be in the Hurt Business. You fucking serious? God, this show sucks. I hate this fucking show. This show is the worst 2 hours on television, and SmackDown exists.
Yeah. So if I had to pick, I don't know. I'm gonna think outside the box. I'm gonna think outside of the Josh Alexander's.
Hologram says it's hologram.
Oh God, please don't. No. Why would you put that out there like that? Don't do that, man.
Oh man, imagine that, man. I could absolutely see that being the case.
So I need to put somebody there who can. First off, it needs to be a debut or return. And I don't like booking debuts to lose, so I'm going to pick a return. And if your return is going to lose, it needs to be a reason behind it so you can progress a storyline that probably is already there. I'm going to think outside of the box and say Luchasaurus, and he loses because of the patriarchy coming out to do some shit and some shenanigans in that match.
I hate it. I hate
Yeah,
it.
me too.
I hate it. You know,
They have nothing else, though.
one exclusion from the tournament is Darby Allin. Darby's supposed to climb Mount Everest this month. He's not in the tournament, so whoever wins this tournament, it will not be Darby Allin. So the idea that everybody was going with, including us, and we talked about it on Tuesday as well with Solomonster, that Darby versus Moxley was the original plan. It looks like they have now changed plans, and it will not be Darby Allin taking the world championship from Jon Moxley at All In like everybody thought it was going to be, because he wanted to climb Mount Everest. So he is not in the tournament. But I don't know. This men's tournament, to me, is very weak. You know, you're going to have your fucking shills and your AEW narrative positivity grifters out there. Ospreay and Takeshita, going to be a great match. Don't get me wrong. Ospreay's going to be in the finals. Briscoe, Fletcher's going to be there. Page is going to be there. Adam Page versus Will Ospreay is going to be your final. And that's the only unpredictable aspect of this tournament. They do everything. This entire tournament is predictable outside the final. And if I was to choose one or the other, Jesse, that's a tough one. Now I'm going. My heart says Page, but I think they go Ospreay. I do. Yeah. I think they may do Ospreay. I think they may do Ospreay Moxley, and I think they may do Page and Swerve. Honestly, again,
you know, and it's hard. Here's the thing: you can make solid cases pro or against any of these top guys that would be in it. But at the end of the day, we're trying to make sense out of stuff in a company that doesn't give us things that make sense.
I don't know.
Will Ospreay does not need to win this fucking tournament. No,
he doesn't. I don't know what he does at All In if not the tournament. What does he do at All In?
I don't. Look, first off, I don't know because they don't know. I mean, but you can do anything. You can insert this guy anywhere, and he would fit into a program. He doesn't need to win this tournament to do it, to get over, to get to a championship match. He doesn't need to he fits in anywhere. You just need to place him correctly and book him correctly. Kyle Fletcher would benefit from a win in this tournament.
He would. Nobody gives him a chance in the night to win this tournament. I think Page and Moxley is the way. Honestly, if Moxley's going to beat Swerve, I hope that's not the case. Hangman winning the championship should be the end goal at All In. Swerve needs to win. That's what needs to happen. Swerve needs to win. He needs to win the championship Sunday, and we get Page and Swerve. That's your main event for All In. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't know where you put Ospreay. I don't really give a shit at this point. You want to book the main event? Let's start talking about the main event. It's going to be Hangman versus Swerve at All In. The Cowboy in Texas gets the world championship. That is it. That should have been the main event. Last year, they bypassed that to do Bryan. Bryan gave up the championship at Wrestle Dream, and it was a fucking mistake looking back at it because Tony wanted his moment for whatever reason. That's your main event this year. I don't know where Ospreay fits in and where he fits into the card, but I'm talking about the title and how we make this show better. You got to make the show better, and the only way you could do that and start doing that is taking the belt off Moxley, killing the Death Riders, and putting the belt on somebody that a lot of people would rather see more so than Jon Moxley, and that is Swerve Strickland. And then Page and him with the story going into All In, that is what we need. Story. And there's no better story right now, no better history than Swerve and Hangman going into their biggest show of the year. So I don't know what they do, but it may be praying, and our prayers may not be answered Sunday. That's the problem.
They already put MJF out there to throw out the first pitch at the Rangers game.
Didn't even advertise it. Imagine a New York Mets fan going to Arlington Field to throw out a Texas Rangers baseball game. Imagine that. Fucking Met fans in Texas, man, our opening day. Who gives a fuck?
They say the Rangers asked for MJF. I highly doubt that.
Fuck out of here.
That's who Tony Khan put forward. But I mean, I don't know if he wants to put MJF front and center at a Texas Rangers game. Does he not want to put MJF front and center for the main event at their Texas show?
I have no. I don't. I'm genuinely befuddled, man. I am just fucking unbelievably just. Where did the MJF and Page feud go? Did Did they say, all right, man, that's it, man. We had enough. Foolishly, here I am saying it's the biggest feud that they got. You want to restore the feeling. There's no better guys than those two guys right there. One match, one and done. It's all over, man. Goodbye. On to the Hurt Business. And MJF wants to be mixed in with MVP.
Pivots like this, I got to tell you guys something, man. I'm starting to believe, hear me out, I'm starting to believe that there is no long-term booking in AEW, man. Now, call me crazy. I know. It sounds crazy. I get it. It's a hot take. I don't think they know what they're doing past this week.
I don't think they know what they're doing fucking going into the taping of Collision tonight, which is a double taping tonight.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, fucking Collision is going to be great this week.
Listen, folks, you think we complain and we're negative because we don't like the company and we don't like AEW. I mean, what would you rather us do? Just fucking completely glaze this shit like a glazed donut every fucking week? Come on, man. These are valid criticisms. These are valid concerns. The Kevin Knight situation is a valid story. It's the only reason why he's in this fucking tournament, because he's looking to throw it in Paul Levesque's face. You wanted him? Now he's here. Now we're gonna show you. He doesn't even belong in any championship match. Period. Never mind wrestling for an opportunity at the biggest one, at their biggest show.
It's like he's trying to prove a point the way he is still trying to prove a point while pushing Danny Garcia, and that's not working out. This championship run, it has not elevated Garcia to the slightest, and he hasn't elevated the title. So what are we doing? If you're not elevating the title, and the title's not elevating you, it was a fail. It was a fail.
Yeah, I agree. The men's is going to shape up to be Ospreay and Page. Take your pick. I'm going Page. That's the right choice. Swerve and Page final, or the championship match rather, at All in Arlington, Texas for All In. Now, we'll go to the ladies. This is the ladies bracket. Again, same problem as the men, uber predictable, but there is one caveat here. They put Mercedes Moné and Athena on the same side of the tournament. So that is very interesting. So we'll start with the left because it's the easiest of the two sides. Jamie Hayter's in the tournament, which is a nice thing to see. Jamie Hayter and Billy Starks. I don't know what the fuck Billy Starks is doing in this tournament. She made one appearance on Dynamite, and everybody now thinks she belongs in this tournament. This woman's roster is stacked to the fucking gills, Jesse. You mean to tell me you can't find anybody more deserving than Billy Starks in this tournament? You kidding me?
Man, she already beat her.
Wait, this was a match already?
They already had this match on fucking Collision in the main event last week.
So why are they doing it again here? Are you fucking kidding me?
I think I just spoiled the Collision corner.
Listen, man. Let's talk about this, man. I mean, if Jamie got the victory over Billy Starks, does that mean Billy's going to get the victory over Jamie Hayter here?
Put it like this, bro. I thought that Jamie Hayter was going to lose on Saturday to Billy Starks. So the fact that Jamie Hayter won, I did. I'm not going to lie. As I watched it, I'm like, watch, Jamie Hayter's going to lose to Billy Starks. And then she won. I was like, oh, okay. She won. All right. Then I saw this tournament. I was like, there it is.
This cannot be at all. If Jamie Hayter loses to Billy Starks, then we know who's winning this tournament. We know who's winning this tournament, bro.
Billy Starks has been in more meaningful stories in the company than Jamie Hayter has been as of late.
Man, Billy Starks is in this tournament. How many other women on this roster could have been in this tournament? Serena Deeb, Hikaru Shida. Who else do we got? Deonna Purrazzo, right? Billy Starks, who looks like she belongs where she belongs in Ring of Honor. She don't belong on the main roster yet. She don't look the part. She don't wrestle the part. Yeah, she's in this fucking tournament. She's lost one match on Dynamite. Now, all of a sudden, now she deserves a shot at the Women's Championship, and Toni Storm at All In.
Yeah. Athena, Harley Cameron.
Mariah May. Listen, I don't know why Mariah May won this tournament last year. Why she's not in the tournament, I don't know. Where's Willow? Why isn't she in the tournament? I don't know. I don't get it. So the ladies, Jamie Hayter, Billy Starks. I swear to God, if Jamie Hayter doesn't advance, there's going to be a fucking...
Oh, man.
There is going to be some choice words. That Dynamite review, I'll tell you that right now. So I'm going Jamie Hayter because there's no fucking way. There's just no way. Jamie Hayter over Billy Starks. Thunder Rosa versus Chris Statlander. This is... I don't want to say it's predictable, Jesse. It borders on unpredictable a little bit. You know, both ladies are pretty much in the same boat. They're both losers, unfortunately. Who needs the victory more here? Are they going to give it to Thunder Rosa, who they obviously blamed for the botch several weeks ago with Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne? Or are they going to go with Chris Statlander, who hasn't had a fucking victory in God knows when? I'm going to go Chris Statlander to advance to the semifinals. What do you think here?
That is actually the toughest pick out of this entire tournament for the men's and women is Thunder Rosa versus Chris Statlander. They've both been treated equally as bad. They both need to fucking win. I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to go Thunder Rosa because they're doing even less with Chris Statlander right now than they are with Thunder Rosa.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna go with Thunder Rosa. I'm also thinking Billy Starks. I'm calling Billy Starks for the win here, man.
I tell you, man, if Billy Starks win, you know what? Thunder Rosa, I don't know, man. Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm could realistically be a thought on the creative side for All In because Thunder Rosa has obviously Texas ties. She's from Texas. Mm-hmm. I don't think they go that way. I mean, that's not really interesting to me, but Tony loves a big hometown reception and a big hometown moment. I don't think Thunder Rosa is going to win the world championship or anything. But if they're booking based on that feeling, you need to kill it now because it's not a big enough match with the way Thunder Rosa has been presented and portrayed over the last several years for this year's All In. You're going to need a big, big match. And Toni is your biggest female performer. You need to put someone in there that is going to be equal to Toni Storm. And Thunder Rosa, sadly, because we love Thunder Rosa, is not it. But I'm just going to throw it out there. The hometown connection, Dallas or whatever, Arlington, Texas, Thunder Rosa, I could see that being a possibility. I'm sure that's come across the creative desk, whatever they fucking do their work on, iPad or fucking WhatsApp. I don't know how they throw back ideas here. But I could see that being the case, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm going Stat. I think Stat's going to win. Stat and Jamie Hayter.
Hey, guess what? Athena's from Texas, too.
I know.
And she's an undefeated champion.
I know. We'll get there because that's on the right side of the tournament. Gee, I wonder who's going to win this match. Julia Hart versus Mercedes Mone, man. Julia Hart, former TBS champion. I'm sure people have been waiting for her to get her rematch against Mercedes. Remember when they really teased something at the beginning of Mercedes' run in AEW? They never really got to it because Julia kind of ventured off and did something else, and then she got hurt. She was out for a long time, and now they're back to it, man. Julia, who should be presented as something a little bit more in the division, thrown to the wolves, bro. And Mercedes is going to eat her up. Yeah.
You know what? I mean, who are we kidding, man? I think we are wasting our time on this bracket. And until it happens, I don't see Mercedes losing a match.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not going to lose a match. She's going to win the fucking tournament. She's going to have another fucking belt. And that means Athena is going to have to lose to Mercedes without losing the title, which is probably why they're doing it.
Now, I don't know. Listen, I'm in that same boat. You need to make me a believer. When it happens, I'll believe it. I don't really trust them to do the right thing. And you should not give this company your trust and the benefit of the doubt because they've done nothing to earn it and deserve it. Right there, right at the top, first thing. Second thing, we talked about this on Tuesday Night Titans last night, and I said weeks ago that if Athena and Mercedes is the plan, it needs to be a 3-match deal. You do one at Dynasty, you do one at Double or Nothing, and you do one at All In, and you end All In, or the feud ends at All In with Athena beating Mercedes for the TBS title. She relinquishes the Ring of Honor title. You do what you got to do and crown a new champion down there. You don't have Athena lose the championship per se, because that's her run. She deserves it. She's earned it. She's put the mileage in. If you don't want to beat her for that championship and you'd rather her relinquish the belt to trade it in for the TBS title, that works for me, man. You'll hold a tournament or a battle royal or something down there and crown a new champion. 3 matches. 3 matches can tell a great story, start writing it, and it ends it All In. That's the plan. That's the vision. I said this weeks ago. We talked about this last night on TNT. Jason made a good point. First match is happening in the tournament because we saw what we saw on Collision. I watched Collision for this one segment, this one part of Collision. I wanted to see what the reaction was, wanted to see what the vibe was. I'm excited about it. It's one of the biggest matches that they have currently on the plate for the women's division. I don't see Mercedes losing this. I don't. Athena is more likely to lose because, I mean, just take your choice. Who does the company value, Mercedes or Athena? They're going to go with Mercedes 10 times out of 10. But Jason brought up a good point here, Jesse. Mercedes and Athena in the semifinals. We go to a, 20-minute time limit draw. Neither one of them loses. Neither one of them loses. So the right side of the bracket ends with that. And then the semifinals here, which I'm predicting will be Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander, or Jamie Hayter Thunder Rosa, would be the finals of the tournament. And Jamie Hayter goes on to All In, and she challenges Toni Storm. And there is story there because Jamie, I believe Toni was one of the women who put Jamie out for how many months, 19, 20 months. She was a part of the Outcasts, and they put Jamie Hayter out. There's a story there, and I think it could really be a great story to get Jamie Hayter back to where she was, that grit, that hardcore style, that genuine Jamie Hayter that got over organically with the audience at All In. Jamie Hayter versus Toni works at All In. I don't know if the company's going to go and do it, though. So if Mercedes and Athena go to a time limit draw, that's match number 1. We'll get a rematch at Double or Nothing, and Mercedes will win. And then we get the third match at All In. This is according to Jason. And we get the third match at All In, and Athena wins against Mercedes at All In, wins the TBS Championship, relinquishes the Ring of Honor title, and then Mercedes can go on sabbatical or whatever, take a little bit of a break, come back, go after the Women's Championship, and wrestle whoever the champion is at the end of the year, going into next year. That works. I just don't trust them to do that. I don't know why anybody would trust them to do that. How do you see this playing out? Do you think Mercedes is going to go on to All In and win all these championships?
Again, it's kind of hard to vote against Mercedes. I mean, I can't see them booking her to lose right now. She's just going to win every fucking thing. So that just makes this tournament just easy. I'm just going to just pick Mercedes. And if you would have picked Mercedes to win everything that she's done here, you would have not lost yet. I mean, she's won everything. She has not lost shit. Doing a draw would mean that neither one of them actually lost, but at the same time, you need to have someone progress in the tournament. What if they had the losers of the 2 previous matches go at it on an impromptu match to form a winner from that right side of the division, of the bracket, I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they could do that, but that would mean there would need to be a double DQ. Because a draw just means that, well, nobody lost, but nobody won. A double DQ means they both lost.
No, they're not going to do a double DQ or a double count out. They're going to go to a time limit draw. That's what AEW does.
That's what they do. Why wouldn't they do overtime? Why wouldn't they extend it? Why wouldn't they come up with an actual winner because it's a tournament? How do you write your way out of that bullshit?
I don't know.
Go overtime. You know what I'm saying? We need a fucking winner. It's a tournament here. You're just gonna crown someone champion because you guys couldn't come to a decision?
I questioned this last night on TNT. Jason said, there's no point in looking back at why. We're here now. They're doing it now, so just embrace it now. But the cynic in me and the analyst and the critique in me is thinking, why all of a sudden now bring Athena up to the quote-unquote main roster? You had this woman on the roster for how long now? And now all of a sudden, in 2025, going into the biggest show that they have all year, you're bringing her up now for what? Because she's from Texas? She's from Houston? That's why you're bringing her up? Or you fed everybody to Mercedes and there's nobody left on the roster that wants to work with her because she's beaten everybody. And now the only person that you have left is Athena. And why has Athena been stuck in Ring of Honor? Does anybody have the wherewithal to ask that question? What is she doing down there? What is she doing down there? Why is she so badly needed down there? She's down there because Tony wants her down there. Tony wants her down there for a reason. What is that reason? You can't tell me that Athena is growing Ring of Honor. She's not. Nobody's growing Ring of Honor. There's nothing you could do to grow Ring of Honor. So why is she there? Is she difficult to work with? Does she come off as not a yes woman? Is she too hard? Is she too real? You don't like that? What's the deal? Why is she not on the main roster for 3 years now, and now all of a sudden you're putting her in this tournament because Mercedes is here, and we got to do this match, and it's Houston, and it's all in. Why now? Has anybody asked these questions? That's what I'm curious about.
Oh, well, I don't know, but while she was there, we complained that she was there, and we wanted her out of there. Now she's out of there. Now we're trying to ask, why was she there? She's
because
out of there.
It's not, yes, I agree, but it's not done in a genuine way. It's not. If you wanted her there on the main roster because of what she brings to the women's division, she would have already been there. You're bringing her up now for what? She was good 3 years ago. She's good now. Why didn't you bring her up then? Why bring her up now? These are the questions that run through my mind. Why wasn't she good then?
The story that we were given as to why she's here now is because Billy Saints was here now, and for some reason, somehow, don't know, but somehow Mercedes is the only person around who did not know who trained Billy Starks. So she kept asking it. Turns out it was Athena. Mercedes does not watch Ring of Honor either. She does not, hear through the locker room what's happening in Ring of Honor. She had no idea that Billy Starks was trained by Athena. So, that was their story to tell us as to why Athena's here. She's here to defend her protege, who, if I'm not mistaken, Athena treated like shit in ROH, right?
I believe so, yeah.
And now she's here to defend her and defend her honor and everything else. That was the story they gave us as to why she's here. Why is she here now? Because she's here to defend Billy Starks, because not defend her per se, but because Mercedes is calling out her mentorship, calling out the way that she trains people. Because for some reason, Mercedes has beat so many fucking women, but this one that she beat, she wants to know who trained her. Who trained you? This is not a question I've asked any of my opponents, but for you, I want to know who trained you. Who trained? It was Athena? And she had that look. I didn't know. You didn't know. You don't watch the product either?
Yeah, but
if your champion don't watch the product, you expect us to?
Yeah, my point is, bro, did we need Billy Starks for people to now start noticing Athena? Like, why did we need Billy to now think people or Athena needs to be on the main roster now? Well, why do we need Billy for that to happen? Athena doesn't need nobody to be wanted on the main roster.
So how are they supposed to bring her up? I'm trying to get where you like.
Why was she down there in the first place?
ROH.
Why was she there in the first place?
Don't know. We don't know a lot of shit about why they do what they do.
I don't know.
I don't know. We wanted her out though. I'm glad she's out.
For now, yeah, I was getting ready to say I will say I did not want her brought out and then thrusted into a program with Mercedes, because that's not going to end well for her. But I did want her out of ROH. I'm happy we got that. I don't want to look back and say, well, why was she there? We're just creating more fucking shit for us to be upset about. Yeah, we don't know why she was there to begin with, but she's out. Let's hope good shit happens from there. It won't. I don't know. Jay Burnham in the chat, she wanted to be there. How the fuck do you know? I could easily come back and say the rampant AEW women's locker room when it was in their fucking volatile days, maybe they didn't want Athena there because they knew how good Athena was and they didn't want Athena stepping on their shit. I could easily say that. Oh, Athena's too talented. She's going to fucking take our spots. We don't want her over here. Send her down to Ring of Honor. You don't think that was influenced in some sort of way? Because I certainly believe it was.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he was. I mean, I don't know.
So what are we going with? We going Mercedes.
Mercedes is winning. She has at least a spot or two left to hold another belt.
So
she's gonna carry this belt around every fucking week.
So Jesse's going with Mercedes and Toni Storm. It's all in. Is that what you're going with?
Yeah, man, for sure.
You're going with Mercedes beating Athena and having it be a one and done, huh?
Yep. Well, I know about a one and done, but I have her winning in this tournament right here. Yeah.
Well, why would there be a need for a second match if she beats Athena here?
I don't know. Let's wait till the match happens and see how the match ends. I don't know. Maybe she cheats. Maybe she has a reason. I don't know. But this gives them their Mercedes has beaten everyone, including Athena, without putting the ROH title on Mercedes, making her have to appear on ROH. She beat Athena, but she's not the ROH champion. That's still Athena's job. And she still gets a belt out of it, the Owen belt. It's a win-win for them.
There's one thing that we know is not going to happen. Athena's not pinning Mercedes. Mercedes is not losing. So it's either Mercedes wins or it goes to a time limit draw. It's either one or the other. I could see them canceling themselves out. Again, I don't trust the company. Like Jesse says, he's 100% correct. Until we see it happen, I do not believe it. And there's no reason to believe that Mercedes is going to be booked to lose or not win this tournament, because we've been conditioned to see Mercedes on this show win, title, 18-0, 19-0, 20-0. Why would you think anything else? I don't really see them booking Athena to come up after 3 fucking years, her now inclusion on the television show for 2 weeks, and beat a Mercedes now. What is that going to do? That should be reserved for someone who has been integrated into the show with proper story, so that when you get to that moment and you beat Mercedes, it means something. It will mean nothing if Athena beats Mercedes with no story and no build, and it just happens because we have to get the TBS title off of her. It will mean nothing. Make it special. I'm telling you. I promise you it will be special. Don't do the half-ass bullshit. It will not mean anything.
I will say this. They had Jade go undefeated. They beat Jade. They did nothing with it.
You are correct.
They did nothing with it. Chris Statlander got nothing.
And I know that still bothers you to this day.
To this day, she did not benefit to the slightest by beating Jade Cargill. She got that title, did nothing with it. They gave her a heel turn, botched it, turned her back babyface with no explanation. They didn't. So having a lengthy title reign interrupted by someone with no real reason or story behind it wouldn't be the first time.
I don't know, man. Jesse's going Mercedes. I'm going Jamie Hayter just for the sake of not choosing Mercedes. But again, I'll believe it when I see it. Jamie Hayter, Toni Storm, Athena, and Mercedes. If you really want to flesh out the all-in card and make it the best that it could possibly be, Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, story. Mercedes, Athena, there will be story if you book it correctly. 2 women's matches on the show that could be some of the best women's matches that the company's ever done. Story. Athena, Mercedes, Jamie, Tony, Swerve, Hangman, and then whatever else you want to do and book the show around. FTR versus Cope and Christian, whatever the case is going to be. That's my prediction. I do think that we'll get a time limit draw, but again, it is unrealistic to think, and I would not even laugh at you or look the other way. If you want to say Mercedes is going to win this tournament, you have every right to say that, because that's what we've been conditioned to think and see. So that's the Owen. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. How is it that women like Harley Cameron and Billy Starks, who just lost to Jamie Hayter, are in this tournament, but Megan Bayne is not?
I don't know.
How is Megan Bayne not in? Penelope Ford. Ford's been on TV for weeks.
I swear to God, man, he uses a random name generator to pick these brackets. He's got to.
Queen Amanada's been on TV a lot. I mean, she's hurt. I mean,
I don't know. Guys, that is your breakdown of the Owen. We're going to get into this show. I'm not going to break down these matches like we usually do because it was just random matches for the sake of random matches, but we'll get into some of the key segments on tonight's show. Thank you for joining us here on Wednesday night as your Wednesday night Dynamite Post Show here on Off the Script. Another stay-home show for AEW before major pay-per-view. Dynasty is this weekend. Jesse, you joining me on Sunday for Dynasty?
I believe I am, sir.
Okay.
I think I am free. I'll be here. Yep.
All right, there you go. Dynasty review post show happening late on Sunday night. Jesse and I will be here, so RSVP. It's the venue. It's going to be great. Follow us on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Go follow Jesse at Chi-Town Smark on X. Go follow him on YouTube. I linked his channel down below. Shout out to all the people watching on YouTube right now. We got 2,700 on X. Shout out to you guys on Twitch. Thank you guys for all the support, no matter where you're tuning in tonight. Please make sure you hit that thumbs up. Our goal is 1,000 likes. We got 600 in. Another 400 to go would be appreciated. Super chats are open. Best way to support what I do here on the channel is through the super chat. So get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. Any questions, comments, concerns, predictions, get them on in. We'll read your super chats later in the show. Go check out anything that happened on the channel this week already. Monday Night Raw, live on Monday. Great show. Tuesday Night Titans. We were live last night with the Solid Monster. So those two streams are up. And we're rocking and rolling already in the month of April. After the second best month of March in the history of the channel, man. The downfall of JD from NY continues to only grow every single week. So shout out to all the people who are predicting my demise for one reason or another. It's not going to happen. Jesse, what's going on your end, man? Any content, any news on the channel?
We are ramping things back up, man. I want to do more watch-alongs. It seems to be the content that I can fit into my new moving schedule with my family and stuff. So join me for watch-alongs. I am going to go back to adding more content. I'm just waiting for things to level out around here. I think when school is over, I'll be a little bit more free. But I do have some stuff going on that I am working on already. But the watch-alongs, I can seamlessly fit in there. I may do a watch-along for the pay-per-view as well. So subscribe if you have not already.
There you go. What are your thoughts on Ricky Starks already winning the North American Championship, Jesse? Or Ricky Saints, I should say.
He did. He won it.
Yeah, last night.
So it's hard for me to comment on that, and I'll tell you why. Only because I don't watch NXT. I don't know what the talent pool / hierarchy is over there. Is he the best thing they got going on? Should there be somebody else over there? Should they have waited, told a better story? I don't know. You ask me, it's just a mid-card title, so it's not like he's the world champion over there already. I don't know what other mid-carders they got that could have been put in that place ahead of him. You know what I mean? It's easy to sit back and say what he should or shouldn't do. I don't know what the talent pool over there is like right now. I don't see him having a North American title as being anything groundbreaking or screwing anything up too much. So I think it's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool.
What do you think about your favorite, CM Punk getting a WrestleMania main event? You happy for him?
Hey, man, I am happy for him, man. I know I bullshit about it all the time, man. But look, I don't want to watch anyone else be unhappy just because I'm not a fan of him. You know what I mean? I mean, look, personally, I just don't like how he exited AEW. That was it. It's not that he left AEW despite what the fucking Punk super fucking fake fans are saying. You're just mad because he left. Really? Because I'm not mad that Ricky Starks left. I'm not mad that fucking anyone else left. Stephanie Valkyrie. Not mad that she left. Not mad that Cody left. Not mad that anybody left, went over there and got successful. Happy for them. Good. Some people should be over there. It's better for them. Some people not. Example, like Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight choosing AEW over WWE, not gonna lie, was probably a smart move for him. All right, it's the exposure that he will get from AEW that he probably won't get in anytime soon in WWE. Plus, he do his thing here in AEW, do like everybody else, go make it big over in WWE after that. Get more exposure, man. So I'm happy for him. But Punk in the main event, I don't know. I did kind of laugh how they made him get on national TV and get on one knee in front of Roman. That was just fucking comical to me, man. That just seems so fucking direct and so poignant and so intentional. You left, you talk shit about us on the Colt Cabana podcast, and you want a main event at WrestleMania like you've been dreaming about. Fine, get down and beg Roman for it. I mean, that's basically what it fucking looked like to me.
He did it in a very satirical and comical way, though.
They didn't need to do it. Like, to be honest, I think that was petty on Triple H's part. I'm not gonna lie, man. I think that was fucking petty on Triple H's part to make Punk get down on one knee and basically beg Roman for a main event spot. That was so fucking intentional. That was so direct. That was not a happenstance. That was not, it's a part of the story. That was Paul Levesque being fucking Paul Levesque and making him get down and basically kiss the ring of fucking Roman for what he did. I don't think that was necessary.
Possibly, we don't know. Sidro says, again, what were you going to say?
I just don't think it was necessary. Punk is over enough, selling enough merch, doing his thing. He deserved to be in the main event of WrestleMania. They didn't need to do it like that. They did.
Sidro, I do not smoke, bro. I only indulge in the finest of whiskeys, bro. Or craft beer.
You want to know that right now?
I don't know. Who thinks I look baked? I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired. This fucking show put me to sleep. Anyway, make sure you guys get those comments in as well. After the podcast posts on YouTube, comment goes a long way. We love being in the algorithm.
Oh, wait. While we're here, why is that a main event?
We don't know yet.
You have
the
two
favor.
World titles for the men, 2 world titles for the women, and you have 2 main events for WrestleMania and this match.
Because it's Roman Reigns.
This match is a main event.
This is his 10th WrestleMania main event. A record that will never be duplicated.
I feel like I remember Roman saying that the last match of the entire pay-per-view was the main event. So of him main eventing night 1, according to him himself, and even people like Punk, that's not the main event. It's not the main event. And I don't want to hear, well, no. These people had said themselves, Punk himself, said that's not a main event. There's only one main event, and that's the last match of the pay-per-view. Night 1 is not a main event. And these are not my words. These are theirs. So they want to change the meaning of it now because they're in it. That seems kind of sketch to me. Roman is not main eventing night 2, and he's not main eventing the show.
David in the chat, you telling me how to run my stream, bro. We got VIPs telling me what to do now. We'll start the review when I fucking say we start the review. Jesse, don't we have a corner to sit in?
How many likes do we have?
We got 640 likes.
You know, we could hold off Collision Corner until we get 1,000. We could just proceed with the show and then hit it when we hit 1,000.
All right, you guys get the show to 1,000 likes, we do Collision Corner.
I like that.
That's the goal.
I like that, man.
That's the goal, okay?
That's really
1,000 likes. If you don't reach 1,000 likes, we don't do no Collision Corner. That's the deal.
You need 1,000 likes, man.
There you go. I like that.
It's important, guys. There's 2,500 people here. I feel like if we asked for 2,000 likes, it would be fair. We're asking for 1,000.
I like it. You know what I also like, Jesse? The open to this show, man. This mixed tag team match, this tornado tag with Swerve and Willow teaming up against Jon Moxley of the Boar Horsemen and Marina Shafir. I thought this was fun. Crowd was into it. I could also tell why Marina Shafir does not get singles matches because she almost killed Willow tonight with a powerbomb that I'm sure left her concussed. I thought she was going to drop her right on her neck and fucking paralyze the woman, but here we are.
Man.
That was bad, huh?
I mentioned that. I mentioned that to the Mole the other day. Like they've done such a great job, not an okay job. They've done a great job finding something of interest for Marina Shafir to do. Make her look like a badass, make her look interesting, give her something of substance on the show. And I just did not want to have them ruin that by putting her in a match with someone who can go. Because Marina is doing great with her character, but she is not that bell-to-bell wrestler. That is not her. And in the match with Willow, got kind of exposed.
This was fun for what it was. Very sloppy at certain points. I do like the aspect of it was tornado tag, so we got some of the ladies here in both Willow and Marina kind of mixing it up with the men. There were a couple of spots where Willow and Swerve were teaming up on Moxley, which I actually like that type of thing. I wish WWE would dabble a little bit more into that when they do this type of thing, but they always are afraid to do that. So kudos to AEW for kind of venturing out and letting the ladies mix it up with the guys. I always like that if it made sense. I don't like to see full-fledged intergender matches, but in little doses, it certainly works. But we'll pick it up here before the commercial break and go to that spot that I just mentioned. There was, I don't know what the fuck Marina was going for. She looked like she was trying to pick up Willow with one leg in a power bomb, and she dropped her several times and could not get her up. She finally got her up, and there was a table set up on the outside and power bombed Willow through the table, and she picked her up, Jesse, in a way where she didn't have full control over Willow, and she almost legitimately dropped her right on the back of her neck, and she went through the table. The table was literally the only thing that broke her fall and potentially saved her from paralysis here. It was fucking bad. I'm like, holy shit. And it did get a holy shit chant reaction, but man, did that look fucking bad.
It looked really bad. You know, I don't know where the fail was exactly to be there. You know, Willow can be a little bit harder for someone for Marina to pick up. Maybe they couldn't get the lift that they anticipated. I don't know, but she definitely did not clear that table enough, and that was a scary bump, to say the very least, man. I mean, I just look, man. I am not one to sit and tell them how to specifically do a spot like that, but I would not try that with someone that doesn't have the experience to do a spot like that. I mean, clearly how this came out, you can tell that this is a very dangerous spot if it's not done correctly.
I think Marina's offense is terrible. She does nothing but judo throws and fucking MMA. It doesn't work in this environment. I mean, you don't need to do any of that shit. It's a fucking Texas tornado match. Just start punching people and using weapons. I mean, that's the
thing.
That's the environment. I don't know who, like, her whole moveset is fucking boring. Like, I could see why she's not in a singles match. She's not entertaining.
So her combat experience in MMA, it gives her the right look and feel when she's being a valet and she's putting moves on women or men, you know, in single spots. But putting her in a match using said MMA background, it is not translating.
No.
It does not look good in a match at all. She looks fine if she wants to go out and just do one strike on someone, you know, and knock them out cold. Oh, she did a crazy roundhouse. And like, yeah, that looks great. Just don't put her in a match.
I agree.
I'm sorry. You're taking away from her ambiance and her aura. She's just supposed to be just the silent assassin out there, you know. And putting her in a match just gonna remind people that she's not good in the ring when she's back out there to be a silent assassin again. Like, oh, you're gonna get tough with Marina Shafir? Yeah. Then what? She can't fucking wrestle. We know that. You know, it was great. Everything they did with Marina was great. I was on the record on this show saying before she even joined the Death Riders that would be something that she could do. I literally sat right here and said,
I remember. I didn't like it. You did, and she ended up actually fitting the role. You know, I guess
very well
to the best of her ability. She did a good job.
It was fine. It was fine. But putting her in a match, you're killing her aura. You're killing the aura that you gave her.
Yeah.
Over all these months, you know, she doesn't have to do matches. She doesn't have to. We have plenty of women who can wrestle their asses off. Don't put her in an environment where you're going to make her value go down from where you got it up to. Just let her be. She can do what just like China, before China started getting into full-time matches.
So after that powerbomb spot, we go into the commercial break. And then we'll pick it up here when we get back from the commercial break. Willow found herself back in the ring. She assisted with a big Tower of Doom spot. So even after the table powerbomb, she was right back into the action. Nightingale, a couple of multiple corner charges. Moxley grabbed her by the hair. Strickland flew in with a big pump knee. Willow ended up hitting a cannonball. Strickland hit a slingshot dive on Moxley to the outside. Nightingale is going at it with Shafir. and nailed her with a spine buster for 2. Moxley tossed Willow out of the ring, leading to Strickland returning and getting into a slugfest with Jon Moxley. So he counters the slugfest with a brainbuster into a rear naked choke. Shafir tried a triangle choke on Nightingale, and she powerbombed Shafir onto Moxley for a reset of the match. Ladies are on the outside. Swerve and Moxley still slugging it out in the ring. Strickland ducked a choke into a rolling flatliner, his signature spot. But as he charged for a house call, Shafir shoved Moxley out of the way, and Marina took the house call kick instead. Camera completely missed. I don't know what the fuck's going on with their production. Completely missed Willow knocking Moxley off the apron through a table that was set up in the aisleway. He jumped off the apron, landed through the table, and she gets back into the ring and delivers the Doctor Bomb on Marina for the 1, 2, 3. And the team of Willow and Swerve win. Post-match, everybody celebrating. Moxley snuck into the ring and laid out Willow with a paradigm shift before running away into the crowd, and Swerve just sat there looking over Willow, angry that Moxley did the deed. Moxley helped Shafir up. They left through the crowd, and the doctors, Doc Sampson and officials in the ring helping Willow Nightingale. I actually didn't mind the spot with Moxley DDTing Willow. I thought it was pretty good. Outside that, I enjoyed the risks that AEW took here to do some lady-on-male violence and male-on-lady violence here. Quite like it. Doses, it works in doses, but I don't want to see too much of it. I thought this worked. I don't really... it's very Vince McMahon-esque to put the challenger and champion in the ring together before the pay-per-view. But in this case, Jesse, I didn't really mind it because they at least tried to make it a storyline from beginning to end. But like you said, they didn't do anything for the hour and a half since the match ended. And they only brought Swerve out at the end to get his ass handed to him. But they didn't really do anything outside that. But I didn't really mind what happened here.
No, it was fine. I like the concept. There was story behind it. It all built up. It started off with a bump, in the back during an interview, and they slowly, gradually integrated Willow into this, and it fit. It worked organically, So that I didn't mind. It was all kind of cool. I just didn't like the execution of it, in the match. I mean, if I guess you can put it that way. I guess in theory it sounded good, but in execution it just didn't look as well.
We go from... I'm sorry, just again.
Oh, can you pin what I'm getting ready to put in the chat right now? Just put it in there. You pin that to the top.
1,000 likes, and we will do Collision Corner immediately, says Jesse. Why can't I pin this? Oh, there you go. It's pinned now. Yes, 1,000 likes, and we do Collision Corner. So we got another 200 to go, chat.
Almost there.
Almost there. Kind of slow, but almost there. We get Renee, who is backstage with FTR and referee Paul Turner. As of last week on Collision, Dax put his hands on the referee Paul Turner and has been fined $10,000 for this heinous crime. Harwood says he's taken the fine, and he talked to Tony Khan, and he wanted to give it directly to Paul Turner as he apologized and told Turner to buy his wife a nice dinner. Now, you could buy a lot of nice things for $10,000. Dinner is only a small smidgen of that. I can do a lot with $10,000, so I'm sure Paul Turner is going to do more than just dinner with his wife for $10,000. Wheeler could barely look at Harwood during this entire segment, who apologized for what he did in the heat of the moment, thinking Wheeler was a security guard after he shoved his partner down. But come Dynasty, they're adding to their history of the greatest tag team of all time. Harwood tried to hug Wheeler. They said they will win the Trios Championships, but Cash... And by the way, Dax called him by his real government name here, Dan. He's like, Dan, I love you. I love you like a brother. So Harwood tried to hug Cash, who stopped him and said, Sunday will be fine, but after the pay-per-view, you and I, we have to talk. So Cash walked away. Dax was not very pleased with this reply from Cash, and he apologized to Renee, and she said, it's all right. It's all right. What are we thinking here, Jesse? After I saw the spot on Collision. What are we thinking here after Collision? Are we looking at FTR turning heel and Cash eventually joining Dax in this heel turn and going on this evil run, or like we talked about on TNT last night, I would much rather them stay babyface. I think Copeland needs a heel turn because I know you and me both agree. How could we see this version of Christian Cage be a babyface? I wouldn't change that dynamic at all. I would actually keep him the same and have Copeland just say, you know what? Let's go do our thing as heels because I think he needs a refresh, does Copeland. I think Copeland and Christian work better as a heel faction instead of FTR.
I agree. I definitely don't want to see a babyface Christian Cage.
No.
I don't. I would rather see a heel Copeland. But this Dax heel tease stuff would then make no sense. He teased his heel, and then all of a sudden just changed his mind and jumped back to babyface. You know, I feel like it would. Well, okay, let me take that back. Maybe it might work if a bigger heel comes along and just knocks him back. If Christian Cage returns and attacks Dax Hardwood or something like that, you know, and then leave Cash Wheeler to try to. Okay, maybe you could do it that way. Sure, that might work out. But I'm just trying to figure out why you're teasing all this heel turn shit just to keep him babyface, and having your tag team have one person look like they're gonna go heel, then they both go heel, seems to be like this, the play in Pro Wrestling 101 these days. The New Day just did that. So are they gonna follow the New Day's footsteps and looks like Kofi's gonna turn heel? Nope, they both do. Are they gonna do it that way? Are they gonna keep them babyface? I'm not sure where they planning on going with this, but if we just take it for face value for what it looks like right now, it looks like Dax is getting ready to turn heel.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly where they're going. I mean, it's very telegraphed if it is, because we see it coming from a mile away. I don't know if it happens after the match on Sunday or the following week on Dynamite. I could see some miscue or miscommunication in the match, and then Dax continues to break down even more on Sunday. I don't know where it comes, but if Cope wants to just be the grizzled veteran who's seen it and done it all, and he sees Dax acting this way, he could telegraph this from a mile away as well, just like the fans can. He's like, I don't really trust this guy. He's acting odd. He's acting bizarre. I'm going to do to him before he does to me type of deal. So he's just, you know, they could just say he beat him to the punch because he doesn't really trust Dax right now because of his erratic behavior. I don't know.
Yeah, it would be more shocking and interesting if you know, Copeland just turns on FTR though.
Yeah.
Sides with his best friend. You know, I want to see them feuding at home. I want to see them like throwing trash on each other's yards. I want to see them being horrible neighbors to each other. I want to see the whole goddamn thing.
I don't think AEW's that creative, bro.
They could do it through fucking Ring video cam too. Just legit shit, you know, just Ring video footage of people just throwing trash in each other's yard, fucking cutting fucking weird patterns in his yard and everything. Just being a dick. The wives getting all pissed about it. How fun would that be?
I think it'd be great. Chat says Cope Hogan needs to retire.
Yeah, this run is not going well, man.
No, it started off fun and exciting and fresh and new. Oh man, I love Copeland. Look, Adam Copeland's in AEW. Now it's Cope Hogan. He doesn't lose.
Yeah,
people are saying it. You know, he said with, I don't know who it was. Maybe I think it was the Daily Mail or something like that. He says we don't book the finish to our matches. Oh really? I find that very difficult to believe. There, Cope. You don't book the finish to his matches.
According to, I mean, I don't know what he's referring to. I don't know if he's referring to the actual winners and losers, or is he referring to the go home spots?
Like, the go home spot.
The go home spots.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Sure thing, guy.
It's supposed to be the producers, right?
Yeah.
Supposed to be.
We got Willow, who's in the back. This was comical. This was supposed to be a trainer's room, and the trainer was working on Willow for her neck and the table spot that she was powerbombed by Marina off the apron through the table. This was supposed to be a trainer's room. In fact, it was nothing more than a fucking hallway, like this very narrow hallway where they put a fucking trainer's table in the hallway, and then there was a door behind. It was like a broom closet. Like there was no medical supplies. There was no fucking no resemblance of a doctor's office or a medical room. Nothing. It was just some random narrow fucking closet, and that's where they set up this table for Will to be worked on. It's fucking comical. Indie-rific. I know they do. They have to.
They have to have a trainer's room there. Why wouldn't they? They couldn't feel. Was that a disaster or some shit? I don't know. But that looked very just cheap.
Yeah.
Looked very cheap. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Very indie-rific.
Yeah, it did. It did look very petty. Like that. Yeah. That's your training room.
Yeah.
That's where Doc Samson works out of that venue.
Sure. Sure thing. Timeless Tony Storm with Luther.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Against Penelope Ford. This was basically set up. Jesse's not timeless yet. I can't. There he is.
Okay. There we go.
Now he's timeless. Now we can continue the segment. Yes. This was basically used to get Tony Storm a win because Megan Bayne, the Megasus, last week pinned the champion in the tag team match where we saw Thunder Tits, Timeless Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa team up against Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. So Timeless Tony Storm beats Penelope Ford here. Kind of clunky. Didn't really do much to get me excited about Tony and Megan Bayne, but Storm Zero for the win here, and Timeless gets the victory. Post-match, Megan Bayne slowly walked down and gave a little golf clap to Tony Storm. She stared down Tony, welcomed her to a fight here tonight, but she didn't move. She just stood there with Penelope Ford cowering behind her, and we got this championship match taking place on Sunday. You know, I said this on Tuesday Night Titans last night, Jesse, with Salamonster. I don't really understand the logistics of this match because the way that I look at it head on, and maybe there isn't anything more for her to do. There isn't a better spot for her to fit in. There may not be a better opponent right now for Tony. But you got to look at it through Megan's point of view. She came in. She's been on TV regularly for about 2 months now. And she's getting a championship match against the biggest female in the company, world champion Tony Storm. I don't think that Megan Bayne's gonna win the championship. I don't think there's any reason to believe why she would right now because they just put it on Tony at Grand Slam Australia. They had her wrestle Mariah in the most brutal women's match in the company history. I don't really see them doing that. So if she loses, sure, they could maybe do a fuck finish and kind of revisit it at some point later down the line. But a loss is a loss. If Megan Bayne is already at the top of the mountain against Tony Storm and loses, there's only one place for her to go, and that's down. So what does she do after this? It's like all the mystique about Megan Bayne. She's here. She's wrestled. She's got a championship match. She's going to be our new big thing. And then she loses to Tony Storm, and then right back to the bottom of the barrel, right back to the back of the line. I don't like that. I don't know how you feel about it, but I just don't like it.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's hard to try to make sense and give some direction out of what we've already been given, when if you would have asked me, I never would have gotten to this point. I never, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have had their road come together like this. I mean, the way they did this, yeah, she really has nowhere to go but down after that. So, yep. I mean, why not wait until you were in a position to actually take that title off of Tony Storm again? Because, yeah, right now it's too soon. It is too soon. Not saying that the title had to change when they face each other, but my God, this would be a lot less predictable. I mean, because right now, yeah, he's not going to beat Tony Storm. Tony Storm is killing the game right now. You're not taking that title off of her.
No, there's absolutely no reason to believe that Tony is not walking into All In as the champion. That's just ridiculous to even think about. Yeah,
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would have kept them apart a lot longer than this. You've managed to keep Mercedes and Tony Storm apart for this long. I mean, you couldn't do it any longer for Megan Bayne?
I don't know. I just find this to be very lazy, haphazard, and just not good. I don't know. It should be a fun match. I mean, Megan's a great wrestler. So is Tony, but I don't see this doing much of anything for Megan Bayne in a loss. Outside that was basically it. It did really nothing to excite me about what's coming up on Sunday between the two ladies. It was just there. Nice, well, whatever. Not even nice. A stare down between the two, and that was it. Go home. Goodbye.
Yeah, Tony Storm and Penelope Ford had a phenomenal segment on Collision on Saturday. I can't wait to talk about it when we get to 1,000 likes.
We are at right now 875, so another 125, and then we will break into Collision Corner.
There we go.
Renee is backstage with Swerve. She asked Swerve about any update on Willow in the broom closet that she was being attended to in. Strickland said that she's strong and brave, which is why he didn't have any problem facing the Death Riders with her. Strickland said Moxley knew the history of neck injuries Nightingale has had, so now he's on the hunt. Strickland won't rest until he gets his hands on Moxley again tonight. By the end of the night, he promises that will happen. Renee seemed very upset that Swerve is making these threats towards her husband. Strickland went to the back and sat by Nightingale's side as the doctor was working on her neck in this broom closet. So he didn't really do anything throughout the entire show, Jesse. He said this, and then he was basically, waiting till the end of the show. They didn't show him searching for Moxley. They didn't show him like cowering the hallway or like fucking searching the hallways. Nothing. No, that was it. I'm gonna find him. I'm gonna meet you at the end of the show. That was it. Some great writing there.
I'm trying to find out if Swerve kept his promise. His promise was that he would get his hands on Moxley. Now, they met up, and Moxley and his crew beat the shit out of him. Swerve didn't get a single punch in. But technically, he touched him.
He touched him?
Putting your hands on someone, you know what that means. I know what it means. You mean you're going to whoop some ass.
Yeah.
He didn't throw a single punch. Now, I bring this up for this reason. Bret Hart, and I'll always remember this, Bret Hart famously said, as a babyface, as a top babyface, he never promises anything to the fans, to the crowd, to the camera like that, unless he knows it's going to come true 100%. So I'm trying to look at this and like, did he look straight into the camera, promise the fans, and then didn't go through with it? He touched him. Are we being technical about it now? Because from what you told us, you were supposed to be kicking his ass. He grabbed his wrist. I was legitimately looking for it. I'm like looking to see if he's going to actually touch him. He touched his wrist. That was about it. Other than that, he got his ass kicked. Bro, it was like he lied to the fans.
We got to build intrigue about Swerve being the most dangerous man in AEW. He can't give away his magician tricks on AEW Dynamite in Peoria, Illinois.
You know, when Brett said that, I would think back to Austin. I would think back to Stone Cold and his top babyface run in WWE. And Stone Cold said something. If he can't start the show, start off Raw, get in the ring, get a promo going, talk about what he's going to do, talk about what he's going to do. I'm going to tell you some motherfuckers, write something right now, right here tonight. Before this night is over, I'm kicking your ass, and that's the goddamn bottom line because and by the end of Raw, he was kicking somebody's ass. You know what I'm saying? You would think the show was over. He comes out, glass breaks, Austin come running down to kick your ass. Once he promised it, once he looked into that camera and said, you can bet this, I will be doing this, and blah, 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 blah. The fans are like, ooh, shit, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. Well, if you say that at the beginning of the show, you got people talking. Hey, Austin said he's going to kick McMahon's ass by the end of the show. Tune in. Turn on Raw. And then by the end of the show comes and you don't kick his ass, that does not want to draw people to the show the next time that something big happens. By the end of the show, I'm going to do this. Yeah, motherfucker, you didn't do it last time. I'm not turning on Raw.
If you put S in front of Hitman, you have my thoughts on Bret Hart.
It's big. Now, the one thing I do appreciate about this show, and I should have started off with this when you asked my biggest takeaway, I could appreciate that they gave us a big storyline and they did thread it throughout the show. How was Willow? I'm glad that they had that big spot on Willow and they didn't just transition to the next match and forget about her to next week. This was a big fucking deal. Renee's back there trying to get updates. People are trying to figure out what's going on. Action's happening again. They threaded this throughout the show. I can appreciate that. We need stuff like this every last single show. It holds interest.
You know what is not holding my interest now after this week? MJF and the Hurt Syndicate. MVP.
Holding my interest. I have more questions.
MVP and Bobby Lashley make their way to the ring. And apparently we were told that severe weather has caused Shelton Benjamin to not be here tonight. Why is it always that AEW is suffering from severe... Was there severe weather in Illinois today, bro?
Oh, my God, yes, bro.
Okay.
Weather there's been tornadoes. There's been hailstorms. It's been god-awful. Today we had a crazy thunderstorm that lasted all day long. I got caught in it running errands this morning. It was god-awful. So, yes, the Midwest gets slammed.
I don't know what's going on. Every time AEW has a show, there's always some severe weather that's preventing something. So, Shelton Benjamin wasn't there.
This is tornado season for the Midwest, by the way.
I don't know who wants to live out there with that going on, but here we are.
Could be worse. Could be New York.
We don't get tornadoes up here.
Yeah, you get that pizza.
Don't let me get FOMO on you.
Oh my God, she really pizza. When I talk about pizza, she's so mad at me.
Before Lashley could say a word, MJF's music hits, and he makes his way out to the ring. A fan had a sign in the front row saying, "Sign my sign," and MJF faked that he would, and then he threw this fan's pen away. Sorry, geek. Don't come to a sign begging for free autographs. Fucking loser. Hilariously, this guy was just like, he's like, "Oh, I don't believe Mr. Friedman did that to me." He's a fat slob in the front row. MJF compliments how good MVP looked before telling Bob how much he disrespected him last week. MJF formally introduced himself as Maxwell Jacob Friedman and says he loves the big man, Shelton Benjamin, wishing him well and to stay safe. We'll see him down the road. MJF said Lashley has done a lot in his career, but this is AEW, and he really got into a New York accent. He's like, hey, this is AEW. You standing on my block, the block that MJF built. MJF says he could help Lashley and Benjamin hold the tag team titles as long as they please, just so that they could help him regain his AEW World Championship. You know how you do that, brother? Got to enter the Owen. You're not in the Owen, so I don't know how you're going to get your championship back if you're not in the Owen. Maybe you should go talk to Boss Man over there, who conveniently left you out, which I don't understand why. MJF in the Hurt Syndicate is just good business. MVP knows it. MJF knows it. Even the mouth breathers in the Midwest knows it. And he told the crowd to talk to him when Peoria even matters. Does Peoria matter, Jesse?
I hate Peoria, man. It's too far south.
MJF says Peoria doesn't even exist. Like, what is there to do in Peoria?
It's a pain in the ass. It's not even a suburb of Chicago. It's just...
The fuck is it?
It's just there.
Who lives there?
Town.
Do people like me live there?
No.
Yuppies? Fancy coffee drinkers for $10 a latte?
No. If I had to actually put a blanket label on the whole town and risk getting canceled, I would say it's a lot of trash there. I'll just put it like that.
So you're saying the best activity on a random Sunday afternoon is to go to the local brewery and hang out with all the degenerates. Is that
yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, oh yeah. For sure.
Sounds like a horrible time.
Lots of working class folk. A lot of hardworking middle class folks there. Yeah.
There you go. So Lashley might not want MJF, but Bobby, you big beautiful bastard, you need MJF. Lashley said, let's be clear, out of respect for MVP, he won't leave him laying here tonight in front of everybody. He tells MJF, I don't like you. I don't trust you. The Hurt Syndicate doesn't need you. Unless you provide otherwise, you need to get out of my face right now. MJF questioned having to prove himself. He says goodbye to the crowd. He walks to the back, and that's the last we see of MJF. I thought MJF was going to come back out and say something MJF-esque. He just walked to the back. He walked through the tunnel, and that was the last we've seen of him tonight. Goodbye, Peoria. Back to fucking where Plainview on the fucking red eye back home. I don't know what this means here, Jesse. It really doesn't. Again, we don't know where the story's going. I questioned in the beginning why MJF and Page is not continuing. We had a very good match at the pay-per-view. We had a very good build leading into Revolution. They seemingly just dropped it for now. Page and him telling Swerve tonight that, remember what I told you, under no circumstances will you ever get back to that world championship as long as I'm around. Yet we got MJF who wants the world championship. MJF and Page had a very good start to their feud, which was ultimately dropped for this. And now he's trying to find himself into the Hurt Syndicate. For what reason? To get Triple B back. He wants to do business. He wants to get his championship back. He thinks he has a good opportunity to do that with these guys' help. But he's not even in the tournament. He's not factored into the World Championship right now. He's got no shot at the World Championship. So what exactly are we doing and where is this going? I got more questions than answers after this week in this segment, and that's not particularly a good thing.
No. And shout out to Rick Shaw. I think he nailed it. It's a NASCAR town.
Oh, God.
It's definitely a NASCAR kind of
definitely not my people.
Man, no. Not at all, man. No. But yeah, this I don't know, man. The Hurt Syndicate, to me, it kind of feels like almost like a version of Megan Bain. Where does the Hurt Syndicate go from here? They have nowhere to go but just the Mercedes route where they just win everything. But then after they lose, it kind of feels kind of messed up. Like they should not be losing. They're built, put like this. They're booked strong. They're booked really strong. Probably too strong.
I don't know.
Probably too strong.
There's nobody on this roster in this division that's going to take those belts off them.
No.
Nobody.
And that's the problem I would have had with putting the titles on them, because you have not built a tag division at all. You put those titles on the Hurt Syndicate, you might as well just super glue them there, because there is nowhere for them to go right now. The division is terrible. Absolutely god awful. No one is even remotely close to looking like a contender to take those titles off of the Hurt Syndicate.
I thought this was leading to Adam Page and MJF Part 2, with MJF finding business in the Hurt Syndicate and him teaming with Lashley and Shelton against Page and a returning Matt and Nick Jackson. 6-man tag team action before we get to Page and MJF, and then the Bucks versus the Hurt Syndicate going into All In. That was my thought on where this was going. Not particularly fond of that, because I think that tag team match is something that nobody wants to see, honestly, and nobody believes that the Young Bucks could even hold a fucking candle to taking down Shelton and Bobby. That's just laughable. It doesn't look like we're going there, honestly. Now, we could still end up there, but, I mean, you're going to have a lot of weeks of television that are going to be taken up by this tournament, and MJF and Page are not going to be in the same tournament together, so that's just a waste of time. I thought that we may get Swerve and Hangman together to team up. They find commonality somewhere. They take out the Hurt Syndicate, and then Swerve gets his win back over Lashley from late last year. I don't think that's the case at all. I don't see them going in that direction. I don't know where this goes. Does MJF do business with the Hurt Syndicate? Because Lashley right now doesn't want MJF services. Or does MJF and Bobby Lashley end up in a feud together? That doesn't make any sense either. I don't want to see that. I have no care to see that whatsoever at all. Not the biggest Bobby Lashley in-ring fan. MJF could make him look good, I'm sure, but I don't want to see that.
Lashley's been fine in there. What are you talking about?
Bro, he's a monster. All he needs to do is go out there and fucking, spear somebody, and that's it. He doesn't need to be wrestling 15 minutes with MJF. Boring. Or is MJF going to bring back somebody from his past? Is he going to bring in somebody that he has previous ties with to try and take the tag team titles off the Hurt Syndicate? I have no idea, bro.
Wardlow.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I hope that's I was hearing rumblings about that from the Mole, that they were talking about repairing them. That's awful. How do you make sense of that?
You can't. There's no way on earth that Wardlow should forgive how MJF treated him. And
you got to restore the feeling. How do we do that? By going back to year 1 and year 2 bullshit that you can't really make sense of now in year 5.
No.
Great.
No. But Swerve and Hangman are absolutely positively about to be some form of a tag team. I don't know if a tag team or they're gonna, come together for the fight of the greater good. I don't know. See, but they're definitely getting together. After that, Hangman walked in. He was mad. Well,
that's what I
know. I shouldn't have done that.
That's what I thought. I thought Paige and Swerve are going to find some common ground after that segment we saw tonight.
It's coming. I think it's coming.
Yeah. I don't know. I got more. Most of the time, more questions than answers. I wouldn't look at it necessarily in a bad way. And I and Jesse are big fans of MJF and want to see him get back to where he fucking needs to be. Again, I'm going to say it for the 6th time tonight. Don't know why he's not in the tournament, but I just don't know where this goes. In this case, more questions now than answers. This is a bad thing because I think we've kind of X'd out where all those other possibilities could have happened. I don't see any of those happening now. I just don't know what this is leading to. I don't. Well, how does he prove himself? How does he prove himself to the Hurt Syndicate? Is MJF going to do something to aid them retaining the tag team titles on Sunday? Is he going to help them? Is he going to find another member? Is he going to bring in Cedric? What is he going to do? Why does he need them? Why?
That's exactly how I was getting ready to go with this.
This guy is the longest reigning AEW World Champion in company history, and he needs the Hurt Syndicate?
I don't get it, man. I feel like he would not want or need help from anyone, even if just to use them. Like, why am I wasting my fucking time trying to get into this faction with a couple of guys who don't even want me there just to pull off a diabolical scheme when at the end of the day, I can beat any of these assholes. He's given us Iron Man matches. He's given us these fucking hardcore matches. He's made it clear that he is one of the best, if not the best, bell-to-bell wrestler in the company, but he needs help to get his championship back.
MJF already said he's not doing the friend thing again. And here he is. I'm assuming he's not going to go the same route that he went with Adam Cole. We're not going to see him buddy with Bobby Lashley, but he said he's not going the friend route, but here he is kind of like, I want to be with you guys, but all right, you want me to prove myself, I'll prove myself. It just makes MJF kind of look weak,
Thank you. It does. I'm proving myself to these 3 newcomers to the company. I've been there since day fucking 1. Been a top star. Been the longest reigning champion. And now I need the help of 3 new guys to get a title back from Jon Moxley. That's how he feels.
Yeah.
It's not believable for his character. It's not believable for his character at all. Even if I'm meant to believe that he's just trying to manipulate them to do it. This just seems like the hardest road to take to try to get the damn title back. When you, like you just said, enter the fucking tournament.
I think we should come up with a countdown clock for MJF going to WWE. When is that? Anybody knows when that's coming up?
Just makes no fucking sense, man.
I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Again, more questions.
30 more likes to go, man.
Yeah, 29 more likes. Let's 29 more likes in Collision Corner. Hits the airwaves because we're getting into Big Bill and Brian Keith here against 2 local jobbers. That was basically it. After the match, Big Bill and Brian Keith get their tag team title match against the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin at Dynasty in Philadelphia. Gee, man, I wonder who's going to win that match.
Don't know yet.
They don't know yet. Renee was backstage with Mercedes Mone, and she is asked about facing Julia Hart this Sunday in the opening round of the Owen at Dynasty. Oh, that is at the pay-per-view. Okay. Of course, they're going to put Mercedes on the pay-per-view. She was on last year's Dynasty. Why wouldn't she be on this year's Dynasty? Mone said Hart is a former TBS champion, but not the greatest, as it'll take more than tricks and spells to defeat her. Renee brings up Collision, and Athena and Hart taking on Mone and Harley Cameron. And we see Mini Mone enter the shot. Harley Cameron says she's been contemplating as her and Mone brought the house down under. I won't really go that far, but sure. Cameron has been thinking of a great name for them, but before she could say it, Mone silenced Cameron and Mini Mone, And she walked off until Cameron called them the Money Wrath Train.
My God.
Cool.
Wow.
Cringy, cringy, cringy. 3 likes, guys, and we have Collision Corner coming up.
Uh-oh.
3 more likes.
Uh-oh.
Are you bleeping me out?
I hit the wrong button.
3 more. 1 more like. 1 more like, and we have Collision Corner. Who's got
There we go.
There it is. Oh, my goodness,
Let's
man.
go.
Oh, my goodness.
It's time for it. Collision Corner.
There you go. Collision.
Right.
There he is. Look at him. Oh, my goodness.
All right. Appreciate the likes, guys. Let's get into this week's edition of Collision Corner. Oh, I like this one, man. So, Collision starts off with absolutely fantastic opening promo segment with Toni Storm. She was in the ring, dark. She had a spotlight on her, and she was approaching the hard cam, getting close, like to the ring ropes. And she was talking about how she was gonna take Megan Bane's tits and put them in her pocket and leave with them. And then out of the blue, out of the side, into the frame, Penelope Ford came and just like murder her right out of the frame. And then she stayed there and smiled at the hard cam in frame. I just thought that was fucking great. Didn't see it coming. Made sense. Why would you sit there and let someone just continue to talk shit? Go kick her ass. Penelope Ford did. I thought that was one of the best camera angle shots they've probably done in AEW since they started. Man, I thought that was so goddamn good.
You know, if they take what they do with Toni and apply it to the rest of the show, I mean, we'd be looking good every week.
Man, Toni Storm is just everything that she does is interesting. The promos, the matches. I mean, you're right. Copy and paste it. If someone is just writing Toni Storm stuff, have them do more, because Toni Storm stuff is awesome right about now. We get the Death Riders.
Oh, God.
Cut a backstage promo. What? The Death Riders are fucking must-see TV, man.
Did they put everybody to sleep in Peoria, Illinois?
Bruh, you don't know what you're talking about. Watch this. Claudio says that Adam Copeland has lost his edge and he's just trying to cope with it. Bruh.
I didn't know Claudio was taking comedy classes, man. That's pretty funny.
Brilliant.
He's lost his edge and now he has to cope with it. Oh my goodness. That may be the best thing that they've ever said.
Fucking brilliant. Forget Dolph. You're the next stand-up comedian, my guy. That's it. John Moxley says he's scared of Renee. All right, moving on. Jay White defeats Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight is, again, very, very impressive in the ring. And I'm going to stress that in the ring, as far as his gimmick work and mic work, I didn't get to see all of that from Kevin Knight, but bell to bell, Kevin Knight is the real goddamn deal. I said this last year. I even tweeted about it. Let's see, but they're doing too much too fast for Kevin Knight. They need to just slow it down and stop trying to do this fucking pathetic ass. Look, we got who WWE wanted. Now we're gonna push them. Stop. You're doing Kevin Knight a disservice as you're trying to fucking prove a point to someone who doesn't care.
What is he supposed to be, bro? I get a little Back to the Future vibes, like a little Kushida from him. What is he supposed to be?
Kevin Knight, he doesn't really have a gimmick per se. I'm a great wrestler type.
What are we gonna do when Kevin Knight and Cedric Alexander are on the same show, man? They're both like the same guy.
I wouldn't put Kevin Knight. I wouldn't put them as the same kind of.
They're not the same wrestler.
No, I would call Kevin Knight like a Trick Williams. I would say
Kevin Knight is like Trick Williams, bro. Trick Williams is less of a pro wrestler than Kevin Knight is.
As far as the gimmick goes.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
As far as the gimmick goes. We get Mercedes Moné defeats Robin Renegade. I am not sure why the Renegades are still jobbers on this fucking show.
You know, there's a rumor that Mercedes is requesting a faction with the Renegade Twins.
Really? Because I've been, damn it, I've been saying this shit for.
You've been saying that just replace Mercedes with Thunder Rosa.
Right? What the fuck, man?
By the way, Stephanie Vaquer is greater. That's all. That's all I'll say.
She is really good.
Yeah,
she is really good. That was. I don't know if that was in their power to keep her, but that was one that they should have kept.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she just chose to leave, but that was one they could have fought for and kept.
Are you looking forward to this potential Renegade Twins Mercedes faction? Are you in favor of that or no?
I would be in favor of that. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to see them with Thunder Rosa, but if they're gonna bring them in and make them part of a faction with Mercedes, that works too, man. That works too. I think they should still be with Thunder Rosa. They would clearly have more fucking chemistry.
Was this match a burial? What was this match? 3 minutes? 2 minutes?
This match was, let me see, with Mercedes. Oh yeah, this was a squash. Yeah, she didn't get anything in.
Okay.
I mean, but I didn't expect it.
Surprised about that.
Didn't expect it. This is how the Renegades have been treated in AEW since. I'm not even sure if they have a single win outside of something on Dark, maybe. That's how long they've been around. They were on Dark.
So the Renegade Twins are the reverse Mercedes Money.
Basically,
okay.
Yes.
Great.
In a nutshell.
Great.
So
Great.
maybe that's how they'll come together. Who knows? We get Athena. Now, after the match with Robin Renegade, okay? After the match with Robin Renegade, Athena comes out, and I'm pretty sure Nigel jizzed in himself a little bit and the way he marked out over Athena coming out. I mean, he was all fucking about it.
Naito? What is Naito doing on the show?
Nigel.
Oh, not Nigel. Okay, I thought you meant
Nigel.
Tetsuya Naito.
Oh, no. Tetsuya not there. Nigel, I'm pretty confident jizzed himself when he saw Athena come out.
Well, wait a minute. Is he cheating on Mariah? What's going on?
Bruh.
Come on, man. You
Wait,
can't
Mariah?
You can't cheat on. No, he's not with Mariah, but he doesn't he love Mariah? You can't cheat on Mariah, man. Come on.
He came harder for Athena than he normally does Mariah this time.
Listen, both lovely ladies.
Man. April 16th. April 16th is officially Spring Breakthrough, aka AEW We Lasted Longer Than WCW show.
Oh, great. I can't wait to fucking hear about that 16 times that week from Tony Khan on Twitter. Oh, man.
He made it long. He's gonna rub it in Eric Bischoff's face, bro. He can't wait, man. He can't wait. He made it a special show.
That's fine. He made it a special. What's so special about it?
Dax Softwood.
Special. Speaking of special.
Dax Softwood loses to Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta won a match on fucking Collision,
You mean to tell me I can't call him Wheeler useless this week? Oh, man.
He is not useless. He beat Dax Softwood. Bro.
Well, what is that? That's got to be a fucking monumental victory, no?
I'm pretty sure we were trying to look into it. I couldn't find anything concrete, but I feel pretty confident in saying that is Wheeler Yuta's first win on Collision.
I know he's wrestled in tag team matches and such, but that may be his first singles victory on Saturday night.
I think so. And let's see. And then he continues, does Softwood. He continues his transition in his Softwood heel turn because he, got into it with his bestie again, man. He doesn't want to be a good guy anymore.
Please don't tell me that was the main event.
Oh no. Oh no, my friend. Wait till you get to this main event, buddy. You just hold on. We have Leo Rush and Action Andretti. They're in the back. They need help dealing with AR Fox. So they go try to recruit Nick Wayne and his mommy.
What? What?
The Crew is what they're called. Leo Rush, Action Andretti. They're in the back. They need help dealing with this AR Fox situation. AR Fox is too much for the Crew to deal with.
Bro, AR Fox doesn't have a single victory on AEW Dynamite or Collision. What the fuck are they worried about?
So they want to recruit Nick Wayne and his mom. to help them.
Is that how they're going to get Nick Wayne out of the patriarchy? By aligning him with these fucking jobbers? Oh,
I don't know. It looks like he is the patriarchy, though. Like, they'll bring them into his fold, if anything. I don't.
Bro, this show. I'm sorry you have to watch this shit, but this shit sounds fucking terrible. I don't know how anybody wastes a Saturday night watching this heaping pile of garbage.
Oh boy, yeah, I do it so these guys don't have to, bro. I didn't do Collision Corner last week, and man, I got death threats and hate mail. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I will not miss Collision Corner anymore. I will not miss it anymore.
You didn't get death threats, did you really?
People were mad, not death threats. They were angry.
Please tell me that wasn't the main event.
Nope. Still going. Hologram defeats.
Oh man.
Blake Christian.
Vanilla baby. Oh man, he loves his vanilla ice cream with little rainbow sprinkles on top like a little baby.
Matt Cardona is on Twitter calling Blake Christian like a vanilla midget. Bro, when you got other talent burying you. My God, man.
Bro, when the most I could say about you is you look like Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey from the Heavenly Bodies. That's not really a proper good look for Blake Christian. No, you know he used to date Cora Jade.
Blake Christian?
Yeah.
Bro, I don't understand the women and their choices. I feel like I have a shot. When I see some of these fucking choices, when I see the choices of Penelope Ford and Megan Bain, I feel like I have a shot.
Do you know who she upgraded to after Blake Christian?
Who was that?
Braun Breaker.
Okay, that's a fucking upgrade. Right.
Vanilla baby, he is not.
That is a man beyond men. He would easily whoop my ass quickly. So yeah, no, easily. I don't get it, man.
Hologram.
Hey, some people just got Riz, bro.
Yeah.
Some people just got fucking Riz. Now, Hologram beats Blake Christian. He goes to 22-0. Suck it, Goldberg.
Wow. 22-0.
22-0.
He's got more wins than Mercedes, man. We can't have that.
Oh, man, why'd you fucking say that, man?
You got that in the notes?
No, they're gonna fucking make sure that she gets more now.
Oh, God.
And
you know, I heard, speaking of Hologram, they're gonna update his mask on AEW Shop. I gotta buy a new one. They're gonna make it. They're gonna make it more lifelike to the real mask. Better materials. Yeah, basically.
Okay, they were selling cheap replicas.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I can't bash the quality of them.
Hologram says Cora Jade dates everybody, bro.
Hey, come on.
A little respect, bro. Okay. She may have me blocked for whatever reason, but a little respect.
Oh God.
Was that the main event?
No, brother. You've been waiting for this. You have been waiting for this, and with good reason, brother. I'm not gonna let you down. We got the Collision Corner main event right here, guys. It is Jamie Hayter versus Billy Saints. And for some reason, they called the main event.
Raggy! Let me at him! Let me at him, Scoob!
Jamie Hayter versus Billy Starks was the main event of Collision. What is the first round matchup of the Owen for the women again?
Jamie Hayter versus Billy Saints? Because we can't say Starks.
Hey, he banned Starks. Starks is benched. Starks is gone, man. It's gone. Ladies and gentlemen, that is this week's edition of Collision Corner. It was a rough one. It was not very smooth. It had some bumps. It had some valleys, some peaks. But I watch Collision, so you don't have to.
Uh-oh! Raggy! Oh my God, man. It's fucking ridiculous. I don't know how anybody watches that show, man. And then you have sickos who tell me that Collision is better off now than the Punk days. Seriously. I don't know what the fuck you people are watching.
Who says that?
I don't know.
Who's
Mentally just out there, bizarro sickos and lunatics. I don't know.
Look, man, I'm not a fan of Punk, but I'm not stupid.
No.
I'm not stupid.
No, come on.
Come on.
Now let's wrap this up here, man. We got Will Ospreay, Kevin Knight versus Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. Shout out to Lee Johnson.
Shout out to Big Shotty, man.
Man, who won this match, Chad? I can't figure this one out, man.
Hey, who knows? Hey, you know what I've recently come to realize, and a lot of them I'm sure are watching right now. So, when the show is over and these wrestlers leave the venue and they hit the road, some of them hit the road to the next town. You know how the life of a pro wrestler goes, They sit in their cars in their long road trips. They're listening right now to us in their cars.
Well, I don't know. If I was a pro wrestler, I'd be at the bar somewhere.
No, but you would be a wrestler in the 80s. I would be getting some well-needed rest because you have a schedule to keep up because you're the body of an athlete.
Nothing wrong with a nighttime cocktail to help you fall asleep.
They got to drive.
Sure.
They got to drive.
To where? The airport?
To
go home?
Next town, they got to check in. But they're in their car. They're in their cars traveling right now. They know who they are. Some of them have us open on their phones, playing in their cars. They're watching right now because they left the venue and they're traveling. They want to know what everybody else thought.
Why would anybody be listening to me? They hate me.
Because everyone else is listening to us. Look how many people are here.
Yeah, well,
that's why.
We love you.
Fun fact.
We love you. Thank you for the support.
Let's say hi. Hi, guys.
Sure.
They know who they are. They know it.
Will Ospreay and Kevin Knight. This was basically done to get Kevin Knight some very unnatural and forced rub off of Will Ospreay. I see right through it. The match was made between Knight and Ospreay at the pay-per-view. First round Owen match. And it's basically what it was. Kevin Knight is very good. Will Ospreay's fantastic. And they got the victory here, tag team match over Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. That was basically it. Post-match, Tony Schiavone got on the microphone and said, the match between Ospreay and Knight and the Owen will take place at Dynasty. And then they shook hands and Knight pulled him back briefly. And this was the debut for Knight on Dynamite. Great. The Ops. They were backstage. Samoa Joe and his crew, Katsuyori Shibata and Hook, said they will be in the building come Dynasty and they will be watching the Trios match for the Trios Championships. Brody King. I'm sorry, what?
You want to know what Joe did in that promo with the Ops?
What'd he do?
He took a camera, set the camera there. He had Shibata to one side of him, and he had Hook on the other side. And he looked into the camera, and he told us why they are a faction. He told us what their purpose is and what they're going to do. They're the Ops. They're the opponents. They're the opposition. That's what they do. Why is Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne together?
It's a good question. Samoa Joe said he started this group because he knew the battlefield was changing and he knew he'd need to switch up his arsenal.
Look at it.
Yet we can't get an explanation as to why Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne are even a tag team.
Why?
The only thing we have going is that they are both Joey Janela's present and past. That's it.
Oh my God.
Which says a lot about Joey Janela and less about AEW Creative.
Is he sitting there watching this show with one hand tied behind his back?
I don't know. He's got something going on there.
He's got something going on right there. I give him that.
Good for him. Brody King and Lance Archer. Brody King wins here as this was normally, I don't want to say normally, this was a nothing match. Lance Archer is nothing more than a jobber. And Brody lost to Kyle Fletcher last week. They came back this week and gave him a win over another loser in Lance Archer because they booked him in the tournament against Takeshita to lose. Great. You guys want our rant on Brody King? We did a whole breakdown of the men's Owen. Go listen to it in the beginning of the show. Yes, Brody King wins with a lariat, and that was basically it. Nothing more to see here. I thought the pay-per-view was on Sunday. This is not really getting me excited about what's to come at Dynasty, but here we are.
Somebody told me in my live stream the other day that the pay-per-view was Sunday. Yeah. I didn't believe him. I had to look it up in my phone.
A lot of people don't know the pay-per-view is Sunday.
I had no idea.
They'll probably inflate those numbers, too.
Yeah, I mean, look, we have no reason. We have no reason to just flat out believe that the numbers are all inflated just because we think that they are.
Bro, they're not pulling 500,000 on Max. There's no way.
But if those numbers were supposedly true, what took Tony Khan so long to present them to us?
Tony didn't present anything.
How do we get those?
Well, some fucking hack that calls himself a journalist took the 60 million minutes that Dynamite is drawing on Max, divided it by 120 minutes, and then get 500,000. And then pretends that it is the viewership for Dynamite on a weekly basis for Max. And that's their number.
How did he get that?
60 million minutes watched, divided by 120 minutes, and you got 500,000.
How does he know the number of minutes watched?
I don't know. It's a good question. Supposedly, Tony's not allowed to talk about this, but if Warner wanted to divulge this information, they certainly would have already, because Netflix has certainly leaked some of their bigger draws, sports-wise, with the numbers that they're pulling in on their service. But here we have AEW Dynamite that supposedly is doing 500,000 viewers on a random week. And I said, I don't believe that for a second, because how would anybody think that this company now is drawing more people than when CM Punk was there at the height of their popularity? I don't really understand how that even works. 1.2 to 1.3 million people now. They're drawing more on Max than they are on their TBS weekly Wednesday show. How's that even possible? The service just included AEW. How the fuck do you go from 0 to 500,000 people in 3 months? That's unheard of.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if the numbers were that impressive, TK would have. Why would Max not want numbers public?
Because the numbers are awful. That's why.
That's why.
When I go watching on Max, it takes me a good 3 or 4 minutes to even find where AEW is on Max. So I don't even know if people realize.
It is not easy to find.
I don't even think people realize that they're there, and they're drawing 500,000 people. Give me a fucking break. You know what the real number is? Yeah. It's got to be at least anywhere between 20 and 30,000 people. That's the real number. They're not doing anywhere near fucking 100,000, 200,000 people on Max. You got to be a lunatic to think that.
You don't know. Your claim could be just as preposterous as the 500,000.
I guarantee you my claim is right in the ballpark of where their viewers are.
Yeah, I don't know where this guy... If this is all based on what somebody on the outside just decided to do and put it out there, I mean, I don't even know why we're talking about those numbers. They aren't legit either way. It could be... If it was more, I mean, it's not legit. If it's less, it's still not legit. We don't know.
You know, BJ, the guy who reported this name is BJ Bethel. You know, I'm assuming he caught wind of my video yesterday. If you guys want to go check it out, cheap plug, it's on the channel. He actually tweeted at Solomonster, "Hey Solomonster, do you need a new guest host?" That's what he tweeted Solomonster yesterday.
No, okay.
To do what? To show more misinformation and glazing on AEW and inflated numbers?
Maybe he meant on Solomonster's show. I mean,
why does Solomonster need a guest host? He's the solo monster.
I don't know. For diversity? I'll change things up.
No, I doubt that. Yeah, these numbers were inflated for sure. I don't know where they got this from, but, you know, typically it is negative during AEW's pay-per-view weeks. They tried to spin a positive story, and then it just blew up in their face. So we see right through. We see right through you.
TK didn't release the numbers, then it's kind of shitty to blame him for them being inflated and shit. He didn't put those numbers out there.
Bro, if Tony has the numbers, he either can't say anything because Warner won't say anything or won't allow him to say anything because they're so fucking bad. And if Tony had the numbers and they were great, he would be shouting it from the fucking mountaintops. This is the guy that has single-handedly started most of the tribalism in the entire community. You mean to tell me that the guy who's bragging about fucking quarter-by-quarter breakdowns in the early phases of AEW and now has gone radio silent because he's lost 40% of his viewership in the 18 to 49 demo, 39% in the overall viewership for Dynamite since 2023. You mean to tell me that if he didn't have those numbers, he wouldn't be letting everybody know exactly what they are?
That's what I feel. I feel like if the numbers are great, I feel like he would have announced it. And I mean, again, unless for some reason he wasn't allowed to, even still, if that was the case, I would come out and say, I have the numbers, but I'm not allowed to say what they are.
Tony made fun of John Cena and Undertaker appearing on a NXT show that went directly head-to-head with AEW Dynamite, and he made fun of the fact that they, on the same show, didn't draw over 1 million viewers. You mean to tell me that this man is staying radio silent because he just gave up talking about ratings discourse? Come on now. You got to be absolutely... Watch over the 5 years of what me and Jesse watched, and just watch the behavior. You people don't know anything. You're celebrating like this is some big fucking deal. You don't know what the fuck is going on because you don't know anything.
Again, I don't know why. Somebody came up with some numbers, and then people started laughing and blaming TK for lying and inflating. He didn't release these fucking numbers. Why is he getting shit on for numbers that someone else put out? He didn't put that shit out. I don't know why this is even a story. I legitimately thought that AEW and TK put these numbers out. I'm just now finding out that it wasn't even him. So why is everybody talking about these numbers like TK is lying? He didn't put them out.
Listen, it doesn't matter. The numbers aren't real. They're all inflated. The only reason why this story made the rounds is because AEW pays certain people and pays for positivity to go out in the light of their negativity and terrible shows to push a certain narrative. People are paid to do this type of thing, to speak highly of AEW. He does it with Meltzer. He does it with Alvarez. He does it with Wrestle Talk. He does it with fucking Sap. He does it with Fightful. They are all in AEW's pockets. Every single fucking one of them.
That's what they said about us. We ain't getting no money. How come we not getting paid for this shit?
Because we are content creators. We're not journalists.
I'd rather be journalists. I'd rather get paid. I'm just saying, I'm ready to sell out if they just pay me.
Tony is in everyone's DMs looking for fucking some positivity. He's looking to spin a certain narrative. He's looking for people to get on his team. There's a reason why certain people are not allowed at the scrums and certain people are. You see the same people every time. And then sometimes you see people with fucking 100 subscribers, 500. How the fuck did you get in there? Who are you? And what are your credentials? And what are you doing to make AEW better? And you know, talk positive about AEW. That's what they want. These people want to be involved. They want to be there. They want to be in. They want to be cool. So they'll take any rinky-dink fucking content creator, sit them at the scrum, and then, hey, we'll make you feel like you're in and you belong if you spin the positive narrative on AEW. That's exactly what they do. It's exactly what they do. There's a reason why people like, do you see Bully Ray at the fucking scrums? He's one of the biggest podcasts with Dave LaGreca in all pro wrestling. Why aren't they there? Where's Tommy Dreamer? Why aren't they there?
Because he's literally contracted with WWE.
Doesn't matter. He's still a podcast, and he's got a huge audience.
You don't think that matters? I think it matters if he's contracted with WWE big time.
Is he contracted legitimately? Is he? He's under a Legends deal?
He's literally on WWE programming every week.
Bully Ray, is he really?
Yeah, the LFG show.
Well, besides that, I thought you meant the TV show, the NXT show.
No, the show that WWE does with Undertaker and all that shit. Bully Ray is right there.
Well, I know that.
Well, of course he's not going to be on anything AEW.
Dave LaGreca is never at those scrums. I don't see him asking questions.
I don't know what's up with Dave LaGreca. I don't watch any of them at all. But maybe it's because it is busted open though. I don't know. At this point, I'm just guessing.
What about Mark Henry? What about Mark Henry?
Oh, he's WWE through and through. He's not going to be in an AEW show. He's contracted.
Well, maybe these guys are terrible examples. There's got to be somebody else.
I see what you mean, though. Look, the president has banned like most of the mainstream media outlets and only keep the ones in the White House that speak nice about him.
Yes.
So he's literally doing. Tony Khan's literally doing what the president's doing right now.
Yeah, I apologize. I wasn't even thinking LFG. Honestly, I forgot Bully was on that show.
But no, I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
You know, he wants to surround himself with people who are only gonna talk I don't even feel like he's going to surround himself with people who are going to speak objectively. So if you were one to speak objectively, legit, down the middle.
Well, what about this? Thunder Rosa's on Busted Open. How is that allowed?
I mean, how is that allowed?
She works with Bully Ray, right?
Yeah, she's been with them.
So Thunder Rosa could be on Thunder Rosa could be on Busted Open, but Bully Ray can't be at a post-show media scrum for AEW.
Do you think WWE will allow Bully Ray on a fucking AEW podcast?
I understand what you're saying. I'm just trying to think of the fucking how things work, you know?
That's never gonna happen. Not with some guys.
So is Busted Open a WWE Pro podcast? Is that are they like a WWE affiliated? Let's push WWE up a podcast. I don't listen to Busted Open like that.
I don't know. I honestly don't. I swear to God, everything holy guys, I don't watch it. I don't watch Busted Open at all. And it's not like a disrespectful thing. I just don't have the time to watch so many fucking podcasts. I try to watch the stuff that you and Jason do. I try to watch all these fucking wrestling shows every week. I don't have time to watch any more fucking podcasts. I told you earlier today I wanted to watch that Swerve one on DJ Vlad. I haven't had time. So I don't know if there's
who could? There's fucking 67 parts to it.
Yeah, I know. I don't have the fucking time. I'm trying, man. I just got shit going on in my own life to add. I got Raw, I got SmackDown, I got this show, I got Collision on Saturday. Bro, I don't even want to watch wrestling 7 days a fucking week. Not 7.
You're not
I love pro wrestling.
You're not a sicko.
I mean, I'm not a sicko. I coach my son's basketball team. My daughter is doing competition things at high school. I'm still a father here at home. I got issues going on with my house, health. Bro, I don't have the fucking time. If you do, hats off to you, bro. I just don't have the time to keep up with all of this stuff. And then still produce my own content. I just don't have the fucking time. I've heard some skits or some clips from Dave LaGreca's show, but I don't like judging a show from a fucking clip. So if anybody here heard what I just said, I've seen clips from Dave LaGreca's show, but I'm not going to sit here and judge his show based on a clip. See what I just did there, everybody?
Yeah, I only consume Busted Open on YouTube. Whatever they post. If it's a certain topic, I'll listen. Like 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I've seen those. No, I haven't.
Yeah. I would listen, but I don't subscribe to Sirius. There's no reason for me to.
It is serious.
Yeah, you got to pay for Sirius to listen to Busted Open. That's why.
And on YouTube, you just get clips of it here and there. Okay, I forget about that. Again, I didn't even know that, guys.
Stevie Richards is a great example. He's a top 30 podcast. Me, Jason, and a couple other ones are some of the only fan-made podcasts that are in the top 30. Stevie Richards is a great example. Why isn't either? Because they don't spin he's probably one of the better examples. He doesn't spin the positive AEW narrative that Tony needs. That's why.
Also, who's to say that they want to go sit at a media scrum too?
True.
Rule that out.
True. I mean, they're awful. That was just a waste of time.
Yeah, if you ask these guys, hey, you want to go to a media scrum in AEW? Like,
no, they
fly all the way out to whatever fucking city that is to sit there. No, I don't want.
I mean, the questions that get asked and then answered anyway, if it's a legitimate question, he's fucking. How many times has Tony danced around a question?
Yeah, no, it's not. It used to be fun. It's not like that anymore. It's very controlled. It used to not have those handcuffs on. Now it's very, very fucking controlled, and it's not the same.
Yeah. All right, let's finish up here. I'm not going to go over this because everything Cope does is fucking boring to me. I don't know what it is. Just no feeling. I just feel like he's just going through the motions. There's nothing there. Cope and Claudio were the main event. Not that it was bad. There's just nothing interesting in this Cope versus Death Rider shit that should have ended with the fucking bat spot that we got a couple weeks ago. And here we are. He's still battling the Death Riders, so we'll pick it up at the end. Claudio went for a concerto. This was not a no DQ match. So Bryce Remsburg, the referee, took the chairs out of Claudio's hands. Bryce took one of the chairs, threw it to the outside. He had his back turned. This allowed Cope to hit a low blow. And he followed up with a nice-looking spear for the win. And Cope beats Claudio in the main event. Backstage, Renee is with Swerve, once again trying to find a medical update on Willow, who is bickering with Prince Nana. Strickland told Renee, no offense, he's looking for her husband. Hangman all of a sudden walks in out of nowhere, got in Strickland's face and says he's wasting his time as security bolted in from behind comically. I don't know where they came from. Maybe they were chasing him into the building and all of a sudden they emerged. Page says he made a promise that Strickland would never hold the world title again. Strickland said, let it go. Page screamed at Strickland that he broke into his house. Strickland responded with Page burning down his house, and Strickland admitted he deserved it. Page took this admission, and he said, what did you say? And then Swerve is like, you heard me. Page took this admission, he walked away, and he said nothing else. Before the Death Riders came out of nowhere, comically, like they were standing in the fucking corner waiting for this back and forth to end, and they attacked Strickland from behind. Moxley sent Strickland crashing into a glass container that was just sitting there in the back. Strickland was then dragged to the ring by all of the Death Riders, tried to fight back. Moxley and the Death Riders then eventually slam Strickland through this thing, drag him to the ring, and then shards of glass, Jesse, made it to the ring. They dumped shards of glass into the ring, and they slammed him on top of the shards. They leave Strickland in the ring. Strickland gets up. He's got glass sticking out of his back. No blood, though. He smiles at the Death Riders. They were like, how is he up? How is he up? They were like mortified to see him rise from this broken glass. And that's the way the show came to an end. And that was the final sell for Moxley and Swerve at the pay-per-view. Sure. Whatever.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah, it did.
Swerve needs to win, folks. Swerve needs to win. End this. Move on. Swerve title Swerve wins the title at Dynasty, and we get Page and Swerve at All In. That is the way. Thank you guys very much for all your support. We are going to breeze through these super chats because A, I have to pee. 2, I want to play Destiny. And I want to continue doing what I got to do. Follow us on social media at JDfromNY. I'm sorry. What?
Did you get the what's name gun from the raid with Triple M?
No, I did not.
Did you get how many runs?
I got another armor piece, just one.
Oh,
nothing but armor pieces. I'm going for the exotic the submachine gun catalyst. I can't get it.
You can't get it.
The dyad.
I'll run it too, man. I still need. Well, no, I won't run. I gotta catch up in the steps. I gotta catch up in the process.
Make sure you guys follow us on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go check out all the other content on the channel. There's great stuff. Monday Night Raw post show, Tuesday Night Titans 89 with Solid Monster. That is live on the channel right now. Thank you. 89, yeah. We're heading towards 100 episodes.
But did you reset or you kept going?
No, we kept going.
Kept going from the original one?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jason's coming up on his 1-year anniversary, too, in May.
There we go, man. In the year of fantastic. I mean, again, man, I tune in. Sometimes I'll tune in. See, when I'm doing stuff around the house, cooking, doing stuff here, and I got like earbud in, I'll tune you guys in on Tuesdays and listen. That would be the time that I would have to listen to like a LaGreca or something like that. But I don't have the fucking time.
Yeah. Make sure you guys leave a comment down below. Helps us out tremendously. Love being in the algorithm. Right now we got an average view duration of 33 minutes. So that'll be upwards towards 40 when we are done here, man. So thank you guys very much. And shout out to everybody watching on Twitch, which I may stop streaming on Twitch because it just does nothing. And X, thank you guys very much for watching on X. I appreciate you guys joining me on Twitter. Let's get
catching on over there.
Nah, I mean they don't push any content over there. It's unless you're one of them paid elite, government plants over there. Like I Show Speed and fucking Aiden, whatever his name is. That's it. Aiden Ross. I mean they don't give a fuck about wrestling content over there. Let's get into these super chats. Who do we got first here? We got Michael Krause. Thank you, brother. $4 super chat. JD Jesse, how's everyone tonight? Let's go. Thank you, brother. Also says, rest in peace, Val Kilmer. You will be missed.
Oh, Iceman, bro.
Yep.
Man, that sucks, man.
Yeah. Tanmay, 63 months strong, Tanmay. Thank you very much, brother. Tanmay is the longest VIP tenured member in OTS history.
That's what's up.
Not today, Jay, with 30 months. Happy 30 months, JD. So I'm thinking about going to All In because I live in Dallas. Is it worth it? What are your thoughts? It's going to be completely up to you, brother. I don't know.
I say go. I say yes. I say go. And
do it. Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're that close and you have the opportunity and the means and you're not putting yourself out financially, go. It'll be fun. We went to All In. It was fucking fun, man. Nice environment. It was nice being around that many wrestling fans who came from literally all over the world and came together and everything like that. London was very hospitable to me and JD. The local wrestling fans, they were fucking great.
Yep.
I say go. You'll have a lot of fun. Plus, pay-per-views are always done well by AEW. It just might not make any sense because of creative sometimes.
Show Speed is definitely a government plant. There's no way that guy is streaming in front of 200,000 people and he's not a government plant, bro. They're all there for a particular demographic and a particular narrative. Give me a break. There's nobody that's successful, man, like that. Nobody.
Except the Pauls, except like 40,000.
They're all government
streamers.
plants. They're also part of the fucking Freemasons. Give me a break. Come on, bro.
Bro, you are a very successful podcaster.
No, I'm not. I'm not that successful.
Some would say you're a fucking government plant.
No, I'm not no government plant.
That's what
that's
what a government plant would say.
Sure. If I was a government plant, I'd have 20,000 people in here. I'd have Dr. Disrespect numbers, 50,000 people.
Not all government plants are built equal, sir.
I guess so. Whatever. I'm not no government plant. Those people are, though. Tan May, not today, Jay. Thank you. Michelle with a 2. TK will have Mox and company retain on Sunday. This shit sucks. I hope not. Glow J with a 2. We saw some of it. Got bored. Same old shit. Yeah, it was... Half of the show was just random wrestling matches for no reason. Tony Brown, 34 months. Miss Ford has the buns to make a great meat sandwich. Of course. I'm like that.
Penelope Ford needs to be in our booty meat discussions more. I will say that.
Oh, she was always a beautiful woman.
No, more.
Oh, okay.
Needs to be in there more. Speaking of, when is Sky Blue coming back?
Kyle Fletcher said sooner than you think.
Okay, I guess he would know when she's coming. So okay,
she may interject herself somewhere in the All-In build. Who knows? Tribal Chief with the $2 super chat. Instead of AEW, I'm watching Atlanta versus LA. Yeah, they lost again. 0-7 the Braves are. Imagine that.
Bro, I'm looking at the chat earlier in the stream. They couldn't wait to run here to tell you your team's losing.
I know. Well,
and the White Sox won 2 games. We're not losers.
That's great. I don't know. Fire some. They're going to fire their head coach and then they'll start winning. Watch. ARM55 with a $10 super chat. Where is Sammy Guevara? It's Mercedes' fault. Gut feeling. It is?
Sammy's on ROH.
Yeah. Why isn't he on the main roster?
Sammy is let's not look. I'm not saying that it's not Mercedes. But what I am saying is don't forget Sammy had a lot of backstage drama issues. So maybe this is a way to keep Sammy employed without putting him on the main roster. I don't know. Could it be? Sure. It could be. But again, Sammy was having fucking drama backstage before Mercedes got there, which is, I mean, come on. Sammy's not a clean guy. He's got his own fucking...
He's also a change guy, though. He has a daughter and he has a lovely wife, so...
He does. He just became a father and a family man. He did. I don't know. I don't agree with him not being there, but I don't know what other issues that Samuel Guevara might have in the back with management, because he's had those issues before Mercedes came in saying that.
Sidro with a 5 per chat request for Wheeler. Wheeler, you to joke, LOL. Wheeler useless as a pair of glasses on a man with one ear. Or as useless as a one-armed juggler. As useless as a pair of glasses on a man with one ear.
You can have the straps that go around.
Oh my God, man. Who said this in the chat? Sammy Brothers, JD on Sirius XM Radio. Listen, man, I wish I was on Busted Open. I'd do well on Busted Open, believe me. The Ashen Chevrolet with the $2 super chat. Tony fumbles more than the Jags at this point. Sidro, $5 super chat. TK singing his version of Jingle Bells on Christmas. Dashing through the Coke in a one-nose open straw. Jesse didn't like that one, man. Jesse didn't like that joke, Sidro. All opinions and statements made by Sidro or Sidro's only.
There you go. And this guy right here next to me, man, I'm not pushing that narrative, bro.
I only read the super chat. I have to read a $5 super chat. I don't believe that statement.
Well, there you go.
Triple M with a 2. You guys should run a full salvations for the guns. You gonna take us through it? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in there.
A full salvation. Oh.
You got to teach me, bro. I don't know.
I think I do need salvation. I need more red borders for that hand cannon.
Man, I'm at 2038 light, bro. I'm fucking leveling up myself more in this season than any other season. A fucking beast. Bryson Kemp with a 4.99. AW just keeps on losing, just like the Braves. Seriously, how are we 0-8? Is it 0-8 or 0-7? I don't know. Is it 0-8? Fuck them. I don't give a shit.
First they said 7, then they said 8. That they come.
Whatever. Whatever. 0-8, 0-7. Who gives you? This is last place. It's great. Michael Krause with a 2. Long-term booking in AEW. LOL. It doesn't exist, bro. Darius Jones with a 4.99. What's up, JD? How does it feel seeing your breath? I don't care, bro. I'm gonna sleep the same I do every night. Nana. Yeah. Nana Adu. Sark. Oh, well, how do you say this? Sar Cody with a $5 super chat. You know what Tony should do to make All in Texas special? Have Swerve defend the AEW World Title in a 3 triple threat against Adam Page and MJF in the main event. Maybe we get there. I don't like them resorting to a triple threat just because, you know. It's very, very lazy. The Phantom Master with a 5. Hi, JD Jesse. Did you see the new Mario Kart and Nintendo Switch 2 coming out in June? Will you be playing? Would love to see. Would love you to play with viewers. I am planning on pre-ordering it on April 9th when the pre-orders go live.
I would love to. I can't. I need 2 because I have twins, and that's almost $1,000.
It is. $499, I believe it's going to be, or $449 for the
case. $450. It really is $1,000.
Well, with the Mario Kart digital, it's $500, but for the $449, it's just the console.
Fucking hell, man!
I know. Digital games, bro, going to be $80.
$80 game. I saw that. $80 games is crazy.
Yep, gonna be tough.
I saw people reacting to it, and they all pissed. Look, nobody's happy that the prices of shit goes up. I don't understand the people who don't understand the people who are upset about the price hike for games. Nobody wants to pay more fucking prices for things. Except maybe the rich people who don't care about the fucking prices, but I care. I'm going to buy it anyway. Yeah, I mean, I would love to buy it. I genuinely can't prioritize 2 Nintendo Switch 2s for $1,000 with the money that I make. So, and I do okay.
Who do we got here? We got Braulio Martinez with a 10. Jesse, thank you for the follow back. I appreciate it. I might be a Punk guy. I just don't like the way he left. By the way, any advice for a rookie wanting to start his own podcast?
Get that a lot, man. I get that question a lot. I get that question a lot, so I know he gets it even more than me. I'll let you take it.
Be yourself, bro.
Yeah.
Don't bend the knee. Don't cater to one fan base over the other. Just put your opinion out there, man. If people listen, they'll be listening for you, and not because you're a fan of AEW and hate WWE, or if you're a fan of WWE and you hate AEW. Just project your opinion. Be yourself. Put your shit out there. People will eventually listen. Yeah. That's basically it. Mark of Cain with a 5. Jesse saying that Triple H was being petty with Punk, making him bow to Roman is a hot take. Very interesting. Punk is a Brett fan, too.
Bro, that's the first thing I thought about. Because look, man, it's all about perception. You know how petty Triple H can be. You know, you said something earlier, and I kind of just let it go because I didn't really feel like arguing with you about it. But you said how Tony Khan started this tribalism stuff. Triple H was the first one to go out there and told Billy Gunn that Vince McMahon would buy that pissant company. A lot of people just want to forget that happened, but that was the first blow.
Was it really the very first blow?
Absolutely the very first blow. It was after that Tony Khan started becoming petty about WWE because then he was asked about working with them, and then he came out. That's when he said well, I've made attempts to work with them and they don't want to play nice, so no, forget that. And that's what, and that it was all said and done at that point. Billy Gunn was able to go over there and do that Hall of Fame gig or whatever it was he did over there with Triple H and DX, and he gets on fucking camera and says that he would buy that pissant company, and then it was all downhill from there. It never got fixed. Tribalism got worse and worse and worse and worse. That was the first blow. True fucking story. I bet anything on it. I paid fucking attention and I went back and watched. That was the first blow.
You may be correct. I forgot. I don't recall what the first one was, but
I remember seeing it and I was like,
well, listen, Tony hasn't really helped alleviate these problems.
It was the first. Nobody once the first shot is thrown,
it's over.
The fight's on. There's no. I'm not gonna go kiss somebody's ass who just called me a pissant company.
Yeah.
Oh, Vince will buy that pissant company. Oh, I better try to play nice with them so I can get them to like me. They don't like me. I see that now. There's no working relationship. Fuck them.
Brolio the 5. In addition to that super chat, I demand that JD splits it between him and Jesse. LOL. You my guys, much love. Thank you, Brolio.
Well, how much was the super chat?
$5.
Okay, so after YouTube's take.
After YouTube takes their 30%.
I think it was 40, 45.
Super chats are 30%.
30%?
Yeah, you keep 70% of the super chats, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was 40 for me.
When I'm in Chicago, I'll buy him a couple old fashions. Eric Newton with the 32 months. What's up, JD? I feel like I need therapy given how bad AEW's been. Can we get a rescue squad to get MJF out of AEW and over in WWE? They are wasting MJF. Be patient, brother. This is his last contract year in AEW. There's no way he stays here.
Jesse, are we in second grade, bro? The tribalism would have happened anyway. Really, it's attitudes like fucking that is the reason why tribalism exists. How come there's no tribalism with TNA and WWE? They seem to be working just fine together. Tribalism is not inherent. It's not guaranteed. It's built and it's maintained. You assume just because that AEW and WWE were never, ever going to get along just because JB fucking says so. Other companies manage to get along. Some companies don't. That don't mean they all do, but it's not a given, God-given fact that they were automatically going to beef just because. That's not true.
Tribalism itself sucks. I wish there was none of it.
It does suck. It does suck, especially when I just want to be a wrestling fan.
I just want to be. Yeah, me too.
Work together.
Me too. I just want to come on here and analyze the show, but people think so lowly of us that they take what we say on here to talk about professional wrestling and they attribute that to how we are as people in real life. It's like, the fuck is wrong with you guys, right?
No, look, I am very aware that there is abundant tribalism between the fans, between the companies, probably even sometimes between the fucking talent. I'm not saying that there's not. I don't think it needed to be that way, and I definitely don't think it's gonna get fixed or get better between these two fucking companies. But it exists, and both companies at this stage, both companies they do their parts. Both companies do their fucking parts to carry this shit on all the fucking time now. Now it's here and it's never gonna go away. But it didn't have to be, and it was possible for them to have a working. Imagine Forbidden Door with WWE and AEW. We win.
Yeah.
We fucking win. It's these fans who hate one brand, whichever one it is. Too many fans hate the other wrestling company. It is no reason for that, bro. If you're a pro wrestling fan, like who you like, sure, don't watch the other one if it's not your shit. But I don't see the reason for hating it. You hate that it exists? I never understood that.
Caden with 6 months. 6 months in this awesome community. OTS for life. Athena is amazing. Great theme song. PSJD, Jesse, remember grizzled young veterans. Hashtag Tony Clown sucks. I don't know where they are. I think they're on Ring of Honor. Why he brought them in, I don't know. Mr. Noob with a 9 months. Jesse calling Peoria a NASCAR town when he lives 10 minutes away from a track in Joliet is peak hilarious hypocrisy.
Bro, Joliet, first off,
I don't know.
Joliet has a racetrack. They've always had a racetrack. It wasn't always a NASCAR racetrack because I went there and I used to drag race with my cars at the Joliet track. But Joliet is not a NASCAR town. Well, let's just say it is. Just say it is. If it was a NASCAR town and I live 10 minutes away from it, that doesn't mean I'm in a NASCAR town. That means that is a NASCAR town and I am not. It doesn't mean every town around it is a fucking NASCAR town. I don't understand that at all.
But you could see why your town would be lumped into being a NASCAR town.
Nah, it's no way, man. It's not even the same. If you know Joliet, if you know where I live, then you know that statement is utter just retardation. It is not the fucking same. You have to know Joliet.
Theme parks with Johnny, $20 super chat. Nielsen has Max at the bottom of streaming. Well, I don't watch anything on Max but The Last of Us, so I'm waiting for the new season. Francis Lube with a 10. Why doesn't Okada interfere and cost Omega the international title, adding heat to their match at All In? Then Omega cost Okada the Continental title. Their match at All In does not need the championships. Francis, they're going to unify the championships because we don't need all these titles in AEW. They're worthless. That's the reason why they're waiting. Also, Francis with a 5. Samantha Irving can distract the referee and Ricochet can pin Omega. With Okada self-protecting speedball, the championship versus championship match is stupid. Ricochet is absolutely taking the pinfall loss, I believe. I would not do that. I would pin Mike Bailey. But I think Ricochet needs to remain unpinned. And Jamel Turney with a $4.99. I would like to put an end to this show. It is not racist to boo Bianca Belair. She's boring and has been doing the same shit for 5 years. Seen this on X. She just needs to go heel. That's all she needs to do.
I can agree with that. She is getting boring.
Yeah. She just needs to go heel. Guys, thank you very much for all your support. I wish I had started the music a little earlier. But I gotta start the music. I gotta start the song all over again. Anyway, anything before we get out of here, Jess? Anything you want to say?
No, man. Tune in. I am gonna do at the very least. I'm gonna do the Dynasty watch along for the pay-per-view.
There you go.
So we'll do that, and then we'll hop on over here and keep on going for that night.
Thank you guys very much for a great stream. Hopefully you got a lot out of it tonight, man. We talked about a lot. We broke down the Owen. I doubt you're going to get a breakdown of the Owen like we got tonight here on the show. So thank you very much for all your support. If you guys did enjoy the video, please hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you think with a comment down below. Go check out all the other content on the channel. There's plenty of it. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. And please go check out Tuesday Night Titans last night, 89 with Solid Monster, and the Monday Night Raw post show right here on Off the Script. Guys, next time you see me will probably be tomorrow with some extra. Miro is back with WWE. And we'll talk about all the other news that broke today, possibly on Off the Script tomorrow. And then next time you see me live will be Friday for Friday Night SmackDown. They are back in the States, Chicago, on Friday Night SmackDown. Until then, guys, have a good night.